and On with your hosts, Van Nunley and Fred Slow.
Mike's hot.
Producer Isaiah Johnson on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
It's Monday, Albuquerque. You know what that means? That means the boys are at the McLeod YMCA. Let's go.
Yeah, baby.
We got a fun guest in just a handful of minutes, 10 of them to be exact.
Ooh.
Jared Gay will join us on the program. He is one of the representatives in Home Run Derby X. He's going to hit some balls. He's going to show off. Also, Van and I, and primarily me, used to play a lot of softball with Jared, so I know him pretty well. And he is the most talented baseball player I've ever met. And one time I saw him hit a home run over the moon.
It wasn't over the moon. It was just over the Sandias. It didn't leave Earth's orbit. It was super close.
It was very far. Jake Cassio with us live from the Y. Jake, welcome.
Always having fun at the YMCA, baby.
Isaiah Johnson back at the studio. Isaiah, how are you, friend?
I'm doing wonderful, boys.
I like that a lot. We start the show off somberly. You will hear it across the cluster today of radio stations that Cumulus operates. A very good friend of ours and host, all over, really, in his 20 years. But KRST, primarily our friend Juan Velasco, passed away over the weekend, and he was a ton of on-air talent. He was the kindest individual to me and Van whenever we first entered the building some years ago. And also, this is going to come as no surprise to friends of our show. Not everyone was overly kind to us when we first entered the building. We came in like a lion, and he was a guy who had seen a lot of pros for a lot of years, and he was very good. And as much as he knew about country music, he knew about DJing and hosting and fundraising. And I have a relatively recent story that I enjoy very much, and I've told Van off the air, and I'll tell it on air, leaving out some names. But Juan was doing some crowd works and DJing stuff for a local sports team in town, and that sports team had asked me to come out and talk about becoming the broadcaster, not to name any names or anything. And I'm talking to Juan, and I'm like, hey brother, like is this the business? Is this like a good get for me? Like, should I do this? He was like, look in the stadium, and I looked around, and he was like, it wasn't necessarily full, boys.
Sure.
If you're following me. And he was like, do you think anyone's watching from home? I was like, I don't know, Juan. I don't know. So sad day in the radio world of not just Cumulus, but all of Albuquerque and the state of New Mexico. Our friend Juan Velasco has passed away.
I mean, he's obviously a world of talent.
Yeah.
He was creeping up on his 30th year in the industry and just didn't quite make it, unfortunately. But I mean, I don't even know him from the radio. I don't know him from hosting events. I don't know him. I know him as being a good dude.
Yeah, kind.
Just like a genuinely kind, good human being who takes the time for everyone.
Yeah.
Greets you with a smile, gives you a fist bump, and genuinely cares about who you are and how you are. And to me, that goes an absolutely long way as a human being, but especially in this industry. When to get into this industry, kind of got to have a big head, right? You got to you kind of got a tiny bit be full of yourself to put a microphone or a camera in front of your face all the time. But I never got that for a smidgen of 1 second from Juan, so he will be dearly missed.
Yeah, and if you wanted to reach out to KRST or any of the hosts over there or ourselves, feel free to. If you go and check out KRST's website, my understanding is they're doing a nice little memoriam thing over there in the social media, obviously. But you will hear a ton about over the upcoming days, weeks, months, and
Sure.
And a big bummer, just a big bummer. So life is a tough one. It comes so easily to some and is taken away so unfairly for others. And Juan will be missed, obviously, at the workplace. He'll be missed around the community. He had a family that I did not know. I did not know Juan's family personally, but obviously, our program, myself, Jake, Van, Isaiah back at the studio. And this is for anyone, but if we can, we always will to help others. And Juan, I think was that exact same energy. I know he had DJ'd, here's a fake number, but it's probably close to real, 1 million weddings.
Sure. Sure.
And, I think, anyone and everyone who had been to a wedding here in town, or specifically like an industry one, but you get what I'm saying. They were so fortunate to see he and his different elements. I know Bob Clark was talking about this morning on his program. They had a very rich friendship for a lot of years. You know, he been at the station for some 20 plus years, you know.
Right.
Yeah, just
30.
They're almost 30, yeah. Just incredibly sad, incredibly difficult, and Two Men On will miss he, and we understand that other individuals will too. We'll step away to come back with laughs. We will do that. And then whenever we'll start those with Jared Gay. So Jared Gay will join us. We're going to talk about Home Run Derby X. We're going to talk about sports. We're going to talk about how French the opening ceremonies were. They were fat, and they were too provocative, and they were difficult.
I got some conspiracy theories on it.
I don't even think you need conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
You need
Real life was enough.
Yeah, it was difficult. So we will tell jokes after this.
Really quick,
Yeah.
I want to tell one story.
Oh, go ahead.
about
Yeah,
Juan.
sorry, Isaiah.
No problem. There was a day I was doing the Isotopes game, and he came in. You know, beforehand I was working. When I first started working here, I was working a ton more hours than I am now.
Yeah.
And he came in, and he could tell just by looking at me. He'd only met me twice, and he was like, "You look stressed, man." I was like, "Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I do this the right way." And he's like, "Just remember, you're not in here saving lives." And like that one little sentence, like I took that, and I still, even to this day, like if something goes wrong, like even earlier, we were having a little bit of technical difficulties before this show.
Sure.
And I don't ever get super nervous or anxious behind, you know, the microphone anymore, because I just always replay that. Like, you're not saving lives here, right? You're doing your job. Just stay calm. And I'll miss Juan for sure, because he used to come in and smile and always say hello every once in a while.
Yeah, calming voice for certain around our office and studio.
For sure.
And you know, the Van and I specifically, Isaiah more now, and Jake learning, you know, but it's an industry of a lot of fanatics. There
Sure.
are people just fanatically running around. There's a desire for chaos. It's weird to describe, and he so often was a beacon of calm in that world.
And we really appreciate that.
Yeah,
Pro's pro, some would call him.
so, more than some. I think all were. And, you know, I think I said that on our social media. An absolute professional to everyone he ever interacted with. And if you're fortunate enough to be his friend, you were fortunate in life. We continue the program whenever we get back from the break. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Brought to you by Auto Solutions.
Clear. And so Manny said,
Sports.
Mike's hot.
I wish he was my brother, but unfortunately, I guess I'm his.
Welcome back to the program. Live from the McLeod YMCA, it's 2 men on. We are changing pace just a little bit. We bring in what I assume to be your next Home Run Derby X champion, Jared Gay. Let's go, Jared. Welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you.
Boo. Team Stratton, let's go.
All right, can I leave now after that?
So we had Stratton on last week talking about Home Run Derby X. So we've decided to make teams. That's our plan. So I'm gonna be Team Gay, and Van's gonna be Team Stratton.
The gays gladly welcome you.
Yes, thank you.
It's about time. It's about time.
I've always wanted to be a gay
You're
boy.
so progressive.
I've always wanted. Jared Gay with us. I know your story a little bit more than most. I don't know what you put out there. But starting from college, 4 years at Eastern, 1 year at Adams State, where you were at that elevation, so fortunate to learn how to hit home runs at that elevation, and then a couple years in Santa Fe, played in Texas professionally, and here you are in front of the biggest crowd you'll ever be in front of, and you're going to crack more dingers than anyone we've ever met.
Yeah, exactly. So, one game I had in the American Association where I played in front of 10,000 people. It was a big Hawaiian night in Kane County, but
that's awesome.
I mean, I know July 4th here is like 15,000 people.
Right.
I know this is going to be basically the same thing, if not more. It's standing room only by the time you get close to the date. So I'm super excited. It will definitely be more home runs I've hit in front of anybody.
Love that. Love everything about it.
What's your goal?
How many?
Yeah.
So when I did the tryout,
Was booty to start.
it was, oh my gosh. Well, so we'll go to that. So it was atrocious. My dad, Jim Gay, he told me, he goes, you just got to get hot. And I'm like, he's sitting here. He told me that if I win, and I'm like, which I would, that I get paired with Manny Ramirez. He told me this a month ago before any of this. I even knew about it. First minute, I hit nothing but ground balls. Pull side, I'm trying to get under it. I'm rolling over. I'm like, dude, if I don't hit one, I'm like, are you kidding me? With my resume, I sent a video of like 30 professional home runs.
Just
I'm
like a mixtape that you have all the time, just ready to show you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
Hold out the huddle.
Yeah, anytime I need to boost up my confidence, I'm like, dude, this is how good you are. So good. I'm like, you can do this. So then I'm like, dude, after I hit one off my own foot, I'm like,
that's so funny.
I said, get under it. I'm like, not even dipping, just hit the bottom half of the ball. And I think 8 out of the next 10 went out and really, really got hot. So I knew I had to hit like 8 to 10, just knowing the guys. I knew I could go faster. Once I knew that I didn't have to wait for the ball to land. I'm like, just go as fast as I can. I'm watching my swings. Like, no, I mean, Stratton's older than me. He had to take a break. I'm like, dude, just go. I mean, my back was hurting by the end of it. So, no, I ended up getting to 10, and my buddy was in the stands watching. He goes, you actually hit 14.
Nice.
They just miscounted. So I'm like, that's pretty much where I wanted to be. But I didn't even watch it. It's just go. And it was such a cool experience.
Jared Gay joining us on the program talking Home Run Derby X.
I mean, what was your prep just to get in? Like, I'm sure you're going to work your bleep off from now until game time.
Right.
But, like, how did you practice? Is it all cage? Did you go out on the field, extra lifting? Like,
so my lifting routine from when I started college 10 years ago, it's been the same. And that was always something people asked me during Pro Bowl. They're like, how do you not get hurt? And I said, because my lifting doesn't change in season. I lift just as hard.
Right.
I'm like, don't start taking it easy on your body just because you're playing more. Challenge your body a little bit.
Sure.
Right? Like you should be sore from lifting, not from the game.
That's a true grit guy right there.
Yeah. And maybe that's an Adam Gay thing that he taught me. He goes,
that's a big boy.
Exactly. So
your brother Adam
Shout
Gay
out Adam.
played at New Mexico Highlands and the University of New Mexico, and that is a big, strong boy who I saw lift 600 pounds one time, and I said, that's too many. That's too many pounds.
You're like, why is the bar bending like
that?
That's not supposed to happen.
Very weird.
He runs way faster than he should be able to run at his size.
Oh my gosh, when we play slow pitch softball, he goes, let me bat lead off. I run a 4.7. I'm like, okay. We get it, man. Okay. So no, my prep, it's just kind of just always getting after it. I'm not doing it. I wasn't doing a ton of baseball when I got picked for it. I mean, I didn't have a ton of notes. It was a couple of days in advance.
Right.
So Wednesday, I hit up my buddy Lane Schrader down at Duke City Cages.
Good dude.
I know Rob goes to the same place.
Yep.
And Kelvin Schrader gave me a hard time. He goes, you didn't give me a shout out during the press conference?
Right.
I'm like, I shouted out Lane in my interview.
He texted me. He said, what's Jared's problem?
He called me the next day. He goes, dude, what the heck? So,
this is not public yet, but I'll break the news on it. We're doing our anything but a bat wiffle ball home run derby over there to give away a bunch of tickets for Home Run Derby X. So I call him this morning and I'm like, hey, hear me out, brother. The wiffle ball field, like we're going to bring the weirdest stuff. He's like, yeah, just anything you want. Like that's how we're going to come out
dude,
and do
he's
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Whole family's great. Great kids, great wife. So I hit up Lane. It was like Tuesday. I'm like, look, dude, I got picked. I haven't swung a baseball bat in a little bit. Honestly, it was like over a year at this point.
But you lied on your resume.
What do you mean?
You were like, yeah, I
Just to
was
get a-
swinging last week.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm like, actually, yeah, I just did a different home run derby down the road. So, no, I mean, I was playing a ton of softball. Like, I'm swinging all the time, so my swing's still there. So, I did like an hour with Lane, another hour, and we eventually were just timing how many I could hit in 2.5 minutes with like the rule of waiting for it to come down. So it was a lot of just like, and I do by 3 days, I'm like, dude, I need a day off.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh, nice.
my obliques are sore, muscles you don't remember, you forget that you even
For
have.
sure.
So yeah, I took the last day off, and then Sunday I actually went to the cage at like 7 a.m. that morning before the home run derby. Had someone else throw to me, and swing was feeling really good. I get there and they're like, "Hey, it's actually off a pitching machine." I'm like, "Oh, that sucks." I'm like, "I haven't seen a pitching machine."
Yeah.
So luckily, it's just grooving it in there. But yeah, once I got in the groove, it took me a minute. It was the longest minute of my life.
I hate hitting off a pitching machine. It's got to be from the arm slot up high. I hate having it come in straight.
Yeah, and yeah, it was tough. I'm like, I'm gonna break a bat. Guaranteed, I break a bat. I've broken bats on machines all the time. Luckily, it wasn't coming in that hard. I definitely capped one or two where I'm like, I'm gonna break it. So I had my other bat right next to me. I'm like, I'm ready to go because, I mean, I was the 15th of 16 dudes. No one broke a bat. I'm like,
When's the last time you swung a wood bat?
I mean, I'd do it for fun all
Yeah.
the time, but competitively would have been 2 years ago.
Yeah.
2022.
What kind of bat are you using?
So I swing, there's zingers, and then my backups are all the old hickories.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. All 34, 31s, end loaded, fat barrels. Just get under the ball a little bit and you'll hit it 400 feet.
Are you gonna do any like manifestation drills before you go out
Oh,
there? You know,
okay.
kind of like in your mind, get there.
Who is Jake Cassio right now?
this hippie.
Yeah, I changed.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's trying to get in my psyche with
That's-
what I'm
yeah.
visualizing.
Yeah.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta on the program.
I don't do a whole lot of like visualization, stuff like that. It's mostly just as many reps as my body can handle. I mean,
So more of the workhorse.
Yeah, oh,
attitude.
absolutely.
Okay.
I'm like, if I can hit 10 home runs after swinging for an hour, then I can do it after swinging for 30 seconds.
There you go.
So I push myself to exhaustion because if I can hit it then, I can hit it anytime.
Friday, August the 23rd, Major League Baseball's Home Run Derby X is at Isotopes Park. There are some tickets, but there's not the many that you think there would be.
Sure.
Also, I was talking to the Isotopes Friday when we were live from Isotopes Park. I think they're forecasting like 12.5 right now.
Yeah.
So it could definitely be packed house out there at Isotopes Park. So that'll be incredibly good. Jared Gay with us. Okay, so all right, so who calls you? Like, does Manny Ramirez call you and tell you you're part of his team? Like, how did that happen?
No. So funny thing is,
Jerk?
so just your touch point, just when I found out whose team I was on.
Well, just that you made the cut. You're one of the guys. You're one of the four.
So John Traub called me.
Nice guy.
It was funny enough. I was in the bathroom at work.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know that. So I took his phone call. I'm like, okay. So talked to him. I'm like, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm like, obviously really grateful for this. And he goes, oh, don't thank me. This is all MLB. He goes, we had absolutely no choice in this. He goes, it was just based on what you did. I didn't ask who got picked. I always thought it was going to be 4 people who tried out that got picked.
Yeah.
And it ended up being 2
Mhm.
because Jared Mang and Gene Trujillo were not there, but they're more just as qualified as anybody.
Very
Yeah.
very much.
Jared Mang's a legend here.
Yeah.
And Gene Trujillo, obviously, same thing. My brother was telling me, he goes, all these guys I've trained from St. Pius they just talk about Gene. They talk about Gene.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's exactly what they want here. Everyone knows Rob Stratton.
Sure.
So I think it's really cool that I get to be working with them. But John called me, told me I was in. He didn't know the teams at the time. And as we're getting there for the press conference, I grabbed my gear, I grabbed the jersey, the
Still
hat.
wearing the hat.
So I had to. I got to break it in. I'm like, now that there's video, I know I got to show it. So
Yeah.
so I sit down at my seat. I'm next to Rob and Jared and Gene. And at this point, I still don't know who's on my team. Now, I just obviously am not very observant because right behind me was my teammates on a poster.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there watching John talk, and he goes, yeah, so Manny Ramirez will be on the Mariachis. And I'm just like, oh, let's go. I'm like, that's the best thing ever. So I had no idea until he said it. And later I turned around, I'm like, I could have just already known that. But
Yeah.
oh, man,
the
that's when I
surprise
found
is
out.
better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was pumped. And like I said, my dad had said that's what I was going to get paired with. And then Jocelyn Allo, are you kidding me?
Well,
I'm like, that is so cool.
And we have an idea too, which we haven't pitched you yet, but Jake Van and I would like you to call Adam and see if he will join Team Dukes with us. And we're going to do one in the parking lot. We have a whole vision.
Uh-huh.
We're getting our home runs. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can you hang out through the break?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do this. So we're a step away so we can come back, and we're going to continue with Jared Gay, talk a little bit about the world of baseball, talk a little bit about translating from being a college athlete to everyday 9-to-5 life, which is a different change.
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll tell some more stories of men's league softball. I'm sure the listener will love that. It's 2 Men on 95.9 FM and AM 610 live from the McLeod YMCA, the sports animal.
on 95.9 FM and AM 610. These.
Mike's hot.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to the McLeod YMCA. 2 men on, hanging out till 7 o'clock tonight. 5:30, 1 hour from now, David Weesey Carl of the New Mexico United will join us. They just keep beating everyone. That's their
wild.
thing. They put it on El Paso over the weekend, just the exact same way that the Swiss put it on Team USA and water polo today. Oh, God.
Men's or ladies?
Ladies.
Oh, the ladies lost?
That's an even bigger L.
That's a bummer.
But everyone listening is a winner because Jared Gay is with us. Jared, welcome
thank
back
you.
to the show. Brother, you were competing in Home Run Derby X. You were going to win the whole damn thing. You, Manny Ramirez, who else is on your
Jocelyn Allo.
team? Okay, so you're going to be okay.
She might be better than Manny and I for sure.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Oh, I'm pumped.
That's so
I mean, I would have been, of course, I would be happy to be with any of them.
Yeah.
Followed all of them through their careers, but to end up with those two is pretty awesome.
Now, why is Major League Baseball slumming with you? Why did they pick you out of all the options?
So I paid them a lot of money. to
Smart.
put me in.
Good answer.
That's how all business is done.
So, and it's not just home runs, though, right? You have to field. You got to do some other stuff. Kind of, what do you know about the event that fans are going to experience?
Yeah, so I've talked to a lot of people. Actually, my work at Casa Rondeña, a lot of the members are, super excited that I'm in it. And they're like, we've never seen a home run derby, never done this. I'm like, there's actually a lot of defense in it as well.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, I personally think I still play. I'm still a great defender. So I think I add a lot in that realm. I think that's super cool. I'm just hoping to stand by the fence and just rob a bunch of the home runs.
Oh, that'd be the coolest.
I know.
You should bring a step ladder.
No,
I don't know if I need it, man. I'm already 6'5".
Valid.
You
but
should
then,
bring-
the ones that go a little higher, though.
Oh,
you know?
that when I was standing out there by that berm wall, I think it's no joke. I think it's like 9 feet at
It's big.
least.
Yeah.
What we should do is call Rusty Rutherford, official photographer for Duke City Championship Wrestling, and just have him follow you around the whole night.
I'm totally fine
And
with
then get like the coolest home run robs, like the cool, like either the look of celebration when you win the whole thing or the look of disappointment when you lose, because either of them are worth
that. Right.
all of it in the world.
Listen, if this was on my bookie, I'm taking Jared over 10 home runs, okay?
When we do prize picks, you're going to choose
I'm going to be
Jared
looking.
Gay for more.
I think it is up there. I think my over-under is like, I think I'm a promo at like half a home run. So that's
Oh,
good.
you got
Yeah.
you got the devil.
Promo code KNML will match you up to $100 in your initial deposit. Download your prize pick and play with us. All right, Jared. So, so now you're in full. You got 3 weeks to get ready.
Mm-hmm.
You're in full get ready mode. What does that mean?
So it just means, like I said, my training was already, it's lifting every single day, hitting a couple times a week, nothing too crazy. I don't want to get as sore as I did before, but it's just getting over at the cage with Lane and Calvin and just getting after it. Especially now that I know the actual competition is an arm and not a machine.
Yeah.
Of course, you can't use a machine in the actual
Who's pitching
derby.
to you?
I have no idea.
Oh, you don't get to pick?
No, from one, they said it was someone in the MLB. So I imagine it's going to be right there.
Prime Pedro.
As long as it's
Just
not
throwing
Pete
sliders
Alonso's
low and
baby
away.
dad.
I'm like, can I get wipeout slider Chris Sale to come pitch to me?
Yeah.
That would be one I'd want to pick, though.
What,
Like,
Chris Sale?
No,
Oh.
who's pitching?
Yeah.
Who's pitching to me in a home run derby? You know what I mean? Like
You got to have the chemistry.
Well, chemistry cool, and you could be poetic, and you could pick like your brother or your dad.
Oh,
or
that's
you
the
could
first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah,
Right.
one of the. But no, I'm auctioning it off.
Yeah.
I want like the highest bidder, like to a fundraiser, something nice, the Y, or I know Duke City Cages has a nice non-for-profit. Like there's a bunch of options, but that's what I'm going with. Like who's going to put the work in?
Yeah.
Who's going to bring the most fans for me?
I'd probably pick the one that would like inspire me the most. So I'd probably go with something like Scarlett Johansson, maybe.
Okay.
Or,
Yeah.
She can pitch.
Yeah.
I'm taking Orbit.
Orbit's a good answer.
Yeah, I would have Orbit pitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did
Smart.
work for the Istos for 2 summers. I was promo crew after my freshman and sophomore year of college. I can tell you Orbit's not.
That's
not.
not an
the one.
athlete.
No, Orbit's not. No, the person, yes, but in that outfit is going to be
What,
tough.
there's a person inside Orbit?
What? Oh, shit. I ruined
Lord,
it. I
man.
ruined it.
I-O.
What's the strategy going to be? Are you like just going to as many pitches as you can get in 230?
I will swing as hard as I can
Every
every single
single
time.
pitch.
Every
You're-
single time.
You're not being selective. You're just like grip it and rip it.
I did take one pitch. Wait, did I? No,
Are you
no,
going to
I-
take the first one?
Well, they gave us 2 warm-ups
Okay.
in the tryout. I did. My intention was to swing at both of them, but the second one was a little in, so I didn't swing. I'm trying to think if I took one. I don't think I did.
Yeah.
So no, I will swing as hard as I can every single
Every
ball,
single
and I
ball.
will aim for the bottom half of the ball.
Nice.
And if I miss it, I want it to land just short of the fence and have it go 300 feet in the air.
If you miss one, if you just swing on and miss, you will never hear more eruption from 3 individuals than you will for us.
I did swing and miss at one in the tryout.
Oh, that's so
Oh,
sweet.
no.
Yeah.
Did you whiff it? It was just like full 360 spin.
Almost fell over. Yeah. Like you're seeing a video, Jose Canseco swinging as hard as he can.
Yeah.
Like, basically breaks the bat on his back. Yeah, it was like that.
Jared Gay's with us. He played collegiately at Eastern and Adams State. Adams State is a good baseball program. That is a cool school up there.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
First time I saw it was actually visiting for my younger brother, Adam, to go look at there for football.
Yeah.
After 3 years later, I never thought I would end up there, but I did. It was a fantastic opportunity for me. They weren't good when I was there. We went 9-41.
It's not the season. That's not the one.
No, that was not it. And one of those, I know I had a walk off there, so I know I was responsible for at least one of those wins. Now they're good. Those guys, I mean, their entire lineup hit over 330.
Yeah.
And I had the second highest average, and I hit 330 when I was there. We had two guys over 300, and their entire lineup did it this year.
And then you walked into the Santa Fe Fuego and you said, I'm the best player on the team.
Yeah, it took me some time. I've always been super humble, and
Yeah.
that's not necessarily, it's mostly been because of not having the opportunity like I did at Eastern, and just, always like, okay, really, really got to earn it. I felt super blessed to be there in Santa Fe. My coach, Bill Rogan, he's fantastic. He's still coaching. He's in California. So earned it, got there, and just got the opportunity to really play.
Me and Van have called them multiple times to do like riff tracks or do like just have a lot of fun with baseball. And they're like, baseball's serious business.
Yeah.
My goodness.
And I'm like, no,
We're not going to laugh and play at all.
we just want to play.
Yeah. College was so stressful for me.
Mhm.
Every single, once I got to Adams, I finally channeled something where I took way too much time to get in the box. And I'm like, dude, I'm probably annoying. I see videos of my brother's like, dude, he's taking way too long. He's just standing there. So just that's maybe my chi that we're talking about,
Yeah.
the visualizing and stuff
Uh-huh.
like that. So then once I got to Santa Fe, dude, I had a blast. I'm messing around. Like I rarely took it seriously.
Yeah.
And maybe all I did was get better every year. So maybe that's the key. Yeah, it's not business. It's supposed to be fun. It's a game.
That's super
It's a
sweet.
game.
August the 23rd, Home Run Derby X. It's a Friday. UNM football is the very next day. I know there's pro wrestling in town that day too. There's a ton of sports going on that weekend. If you win this whole thing on Friday night, you could be a lot of people's story about the best sports weekend they ever had in Albuquerque.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's like a weird energy, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Being responsible for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, this is definitely an event that fits me really well.
Yeah.
Just, oh man, nothing better than hitting a home run. And then whether it's softball or baseball. So winning and being with two wonderful teammates was going to be awesome.
Are you going to jersey swap with either of them?
If they give it to me, oh, gladly, dude. I'll take either one. I mean, I know we get like our number and possibly our name on it. Nothing like having Gay on the back of your jersey.
Yeah, so
but yeah, I totally would. Yeah.
We need T-shirts.
I mean, so you mentioned the Gay name. You got a family of athletes.
Family of gays, yes, sir.
You went baseball. Brother went football. Your dad looks like he could step out on any field and go.
So my dad played football at Penn State. Played for Joe Paterno.
Go Nittany Iowa,
Yeah, big time. Dude, been to that field many times. So dad played football. Older brother was a college swimmer. My younger brother Adam also swam. He played baseball and then obviously played football in college. Youngest brother Simon, he played football at UNM as well. He was a tight end there.
How did you choose what sport you gravitated to? And feel free to speak for your brothers as well.
Yeah, honestly, Jordan, my older brother, wasn't as good at baseball. We all played baseball, and then he was really, really good at swimming. So that's just the way he went. We kind of narrowed it down like our sophomore, junior year of high school. I broke my arm. I played varsity hockey in New York, and I broke my arm first varsity game. And once I did that, I'm like, I know I want to play college baseball.
Like a wrist shot or what?
No, I got hit and I landed.
Oh,
and I broke,
okay.
broke my throwing arm in half.
Yeah.
So it was awful. But once that happened, I'm like, I cannot keep up with this. I was not this big. I was like 170 pounds, 6'5". So
on the ice too, that's a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like I'm now, I'd be able to keep up. But once I did that, I ran a little bit like cross country, but I knew baseball is what I wanted to do, especially after hurting myself that bad. And then Adam, when we lived in New York, was this like superstar pitcher. And he was actually supposed to play varsity with me. We were 3 years apart when I was a senior. And he got here, started working with trainers. I'll leave out names and all that, and just jacked up his elbow. He couldn't even lift. And you've seen Adam. Lifting is, that's who he is. So then senior year, he's like, dude, I'm going to go play football. I'm big. I can't play baseball anymore. Got the opportunity to go to Highlands on a scholarship. Pretty much, I don't think he paid anything. Then went on to UNM beyond that. And Simon could have played college hockey, could have played he was the best. He's the best athlete out of all of us. And so it was a guarantee he was going to be able to get a Division I opportunity.
Yeah, I remember specifically the day Adam decided he was going to leave, and we were doing like sports testing, and we were running the 40s, and he ran like an insane 40. I'm pretty sure he clocked a 4.6 twice, and then his weight room numbers were already insane.
Yeah.
So then I remember him saying, he's like, dude, I can leave. I can literally leave. I have the grades, I can dip. And I remember he dipped, and I was happy for him. I knew life was going to get better instantly for him when he switched to UNM.
Yeah, no, and I always wish he got more of an opportunity to play, because he's still, I mean, dude, he could step on a field right now and be perfectly fine. He's at a better weight. He was always trying to get to like 300. I mean, at 300, like they saying, he ran. He literally ran like a 4.7, 4.8 at 300 pounds. And when he ran the 4.6, he was like 260. I mean, that's a big boy. Benching 400, squatting 500, running that fast. I'm like, dude, you're literally a weapon.
That's about 3 seconds faster than me, and I'm about 200 pounds lighter than that.
Let's do this. So it looks like we got a little bit of a technical difficulty. We'll step away and fix that. Jared, you're the best, brother. Thank you for being part of the show.
Thank you for having me.
Sorry for the abrupt end. Home Run Derby X is August the 23rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com. You can go and celebrate Jared. Did they give you some tickets? Can you bring like people?
I do, actually. So I got ironically enough, my grandma is in that weekend, so she'll be here from Virginia.
Oh,
I called my grandpa, who's watched every single one of my professional games. I go, hey, I'm flying you out here.
Oh,
I'm like, you're coming. He goes, well, let me talk to Shelly. I'm like, well, she loves to travel, so you're guaranteed to come here.
Yes.
Later that day, he goes, we bought tickets. So I have like 10 or 12 tickets. I have pretty much my entire family there. Not my older brother because he lives in Colorado, but I got grandparents there, so that's gonna be awesome.
How great. Jared Gay, thank you so much, brother.
Thank you, guys.
Whenever we get back from the break, we'll figure out this technical thing. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Edit. Down. YMCA. Save. Done. Remotes. Change connections.
Give it a second. Won't touch it yet.
Just a scanner. This is so dumb.
Do the off and back on again. I know I saw you do it once. That was literally Manny's advice. He's like, everything you did is correct. Safe House 2 weeks ago. It just magically worked after I turned it off and back on again for the second time.
Jared, we're number one in total listeners and time spent listening at 18 to 25. We can't get a computer to save our fucking lives.
Bureaucracy.
I'll buy your vote so you can buy mine.
That'd be smart. I'm just gonna keep getting promoted until I can fix this and quit. That's my goal.
You know when you peaked.
I don't care. It's a principle. All right, last try. If this doesn't work, I kill myself.
You guys, I'm done, right?
Can be. Yeah.
I mean, if you have more, I might.
Yeah, you can hang out if you want. You can go do whatever you want.
We'll talk football until the next one, yeah.
If we ever get back.
If we ever get
I'm going to the Bills-Houston game this year.
Is that in Houston?
Yeah.
I thought about going.
They
Still
the
thinking
best
about it.
quarterback in the league.
Josh Allen?
Nope.
Yeah, we see him every week. It's easy.
I mean, Mitch Trubisky?
Who's the backup for Houston? Is that
Ideal on their side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And
right,
now
I got
save 40% on the sleep.
Alrighty, that sounds a lot better. You want me to lead you into the bumper, or you want to just come back after?
Come back after
Find a
this
store near
commercial.
you. Visit Sleep Number.
Okay.
You're the man.
The best things in life, they come
Sorry
in
about
twos.
that.
2 scoops of ice cream,
No, it's all cool. It sounds better now.
Cool.
any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by July 31st, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for
All
additional
right,
details.
not all of my
The
information
Jim Rome
transferred
Show.
I mean, I love the game, but I don't play
because
the game.
MLB Trade Rumors
Weekdays at
isn't my
10
number one.
on 95.9
website.
FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Mike's hot.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On, where we figured out our technical diffs, and our apologies to everyone that tuned in for Jared Gay.
I got good news though, Fred.
Wasn't a lot of people not worried about it.
We got more Jared Gay coming.
There we go.
He's still hanging out with us, baby.
Jared Gay with us. He tried to leave during the commercial break, and then you and Jake had a moment over Buffalo Bills football.
Yeah, the world's greatest team, America's team, as some would say. Most would say.
As
World's-
most Bills fans.
World's greatest team if you don't count Super Bowl wins.
Yeah, the
Oh.
appearances, though.
Silver medal is really good.
You know what? It's
Yeah.
good in the Olympics. I'll take it for football. Yeah, I mean, we shared a little bond over upstate New York. Shout out Rochester. Shout out Watertown.
Yep.
And shout out the Buffalo Bills. And we're looking good this year.
Who is we?
The Bills.
Oh,
This is
jeez.
a thing of ours, man. There's a reason why we're the mafia.
This thing of ours, what, La Cosa Nostra? What are you doing here?
No, we're on the team. We're on the team.
You ever heard of the 12th man? You know, that might be a thing in Seattle. It's a bigger thing in Buffalo.
Years ago,
No, they stole it from College Station, Texas, at Texas A&M.
Who?
Jared, for years, has been saying it's the only team actually in New York.
It
That's
is.
your thing.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You mean the Jersey Jets and the Jersey Giants?
Oh, they both suck.
Yeah.
Well, give me the Bills all day.
Yeah.
man.
I'm
Only
so
New
glad
York
we have
team.
Aaron Rodgers to play against now.
We're gonna run with Jared one more segment, talk a little bit of football. Sorry for the tech diffs. We got to figure it out though. We promise. And then David, we see Carl, the New Mexico United, join us at 5:30 to talk about their big win over El Paso over the weekend. It's 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610.
Guys first came back. It did, but then it went back.
This message brought to you by Sandia Golf Club.
Well, traffic right now, we do have a crash to tell you about. It is northbound on I-25 as you approach Paseo. Be really careful going through there. Looks like that's also causing problems exiting off onto Paseo. So watch yourself as you make your way through there. Southbound on I-25 right now approaching Montgomery. We're dealing with some slowdowns in that area as well. I-40 at the moment continues to move up to speed in both directions. North of the city right now, 25 between Albuquerque and
Santa.
Mike's hot. I'll give you thumbs up or down.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On, live from the McLeod YMCA. The texter is thankful for the opening to the program, so that is nice. Saying goodbye to our friend Juan Velasco, passed away over the weekend. So if you were a listener of the Cumulus family, KRST specifically, lots of kind words are being shared about him on the social media. So go over there, check that out for KRST and the Cumulus cluster, and you will see some positive things. Okay, we know we're struggling with audio a little bit. We're going to make sure the podcast is good. Isaiah is on that. Jared Gay still with us. He is competing in Home Run Derby X Also, he is like so many Americans. No Olympics for you thus far, huh?
I know. And I saw bits of the ceremony.
Yeah.
Like Isaiah said, it was very mixed reviews. I am definitely a big Summer Olympics guy, not as much in the winter, but no, I'm busy with work. Haven't really had a chance to get into it.
I mean, the highlight of the opening ceremony was Delaware crossing, but looking like George Washington out there
With LeBron James holding the flag like that. Yeah, that was sweet.
That's pretty iconic.
And like just seeing all the selfies with LeBron, that's the highlight of the Olympics for me. That should be an Olympic sport.
Like anything off the field or off the court, Snoop Dogg crip walking with the torch is the highlight for me. Like easily. It's not even close that's the best part.
I watched his studio thing the other day, and it was booty. Did you guys? Oh, you guys didn't watch it, obviously, like I did. But it was, it's just him and Mike Tirico, like standing talking head, like going over sports he's not familiar with, and just saying catchphrases from songs from when I was a kid. Not even Jake wasn't alive yet. Like it was. It's a bit forced, is the Olympics right now. It's a bit forced on the broadcast.
I got one beef, and it's not as petty as my beef usually is. I have every app in the history of the universe. Shout out to you, Fred, and the rest of our co-op.
Yeah, we have a co-op.
Yeah. So I was like looking through all the sports, and the one I really wanted to watch, the only thing I really like every 4 years, every 4 Winter Olympics, I'm the biggest curling fan on the planet.
Yes.
Every 4 Summer Olympics, I'm the biggest women's badminton fan on the planet. And I could pick 40 different games
except
for women's badminton, which is absolutely electric if you haven't seen it. It's the best of the best, squealing and screaming all over the court. It is so much fun.
I mean, Jared, you're a natural athlete. You can play tight end for the Buffalo Bills practically
Okay,
right now. If you could
go.
compete in any Olympic sport right now, what would you do?
I mean, besides obviously crossing up LeBron James.
Yeah, of course.
Honestly, water polo.
Okay.
Swimming, I'm not as good a swimmer as my brothers were, but just like that whole hand-eye coordination, all that. I think if I had to get after, it'd be that
Well,
one.
I have good news for you. It's called handball. And it's like what every professional athlete that can't make it at the top of they all just give up and play handball.
Yeah. I should have said handball.
And
it's much better one.
It's the most devastating. Have you guys watched any of it yet?
I watched a little handball.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't understand the rules. I don't know if there's dribbles. I don't know. I don't
get 3 steps.
It's 3 steps.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now that I know, it's like part of a line dance.
And you can jump into the crease if you're shooting.
That's what they all do too.
You're jumping like 6 feet and you're right on top of the goalie.
It's super bad. Like, and then
like the Tim Tebow jump throw.
Yeah, but at the goalie.
Yeah.
Like if you're running the line of scrimmage and jumping like 6 yards with the ball still in your hand, but because you left in front of the line of scrimmage,
It's more like the best quarterback in the NFL, Patrick Mahomes. Whenever he leans completely sideways and throws a completion, usually a touchdown, usually for a Super Bowl, it's exactly like that.
Like his dad on the Mets.
It's okay. What are you doing?
That's how he throws.
He's the best of all time. If Patrick Mahomes played handball, we would never lose a match internationally.
Could you imagine Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Joe Burrow as our handball team?
Oh, we can't. Too many people would die. There's just way too many.
Nobody would play goalie against them.
Yeah.
I would want to see Aroldis Chapman playing for the Cuban national team.
Cuban would be formidable. They'd be pretty formidable.
There are some of those athletes who make those transitions. I saw a bunch of videos with that Bollinger kid who went to Arizona, played NBA for like 8 years, and now he's like a professional volleyball player. He's representing Team USA, and he shows up because he was an All-American with Kevin Durant a million years ago, and they're doing the exact same handshake they had during like the All-American game.
Very cute.
And you're like, oh, you're in. Oh, you're.
Is this indicative of like how great of an athlete Chase is, or like how easy it is to be a sand volleyball Olympian? Because it's one of them. It's got to be one of them.
Hey, Jimmy Graham could do it. Okay.
Jimmy Graham's taller than the net.
Yeah.
Doesn't he curl?
Like
is he
ice
curling? Is he one of the football curlers?
I am not sure.
That's like a big thing. Like not Josh Allen. What's the good Allen's name?
Josh Allen.
Jared Allen.
The Jacksonville Jaguars. Josh Allen.
Yeah.
The other Josh Allen. Yeah.
Jared Allen started like a football team of curlers and took them on like a travel the country awareness thing. This is real.
That's an insanely
They
Jared Allen thing to do.
20U teams that we've been losing to.
Jared, you don't need the eye black indoors. We're on ice.
Did you guys wake up early? I know you didn't, Jared. I woke up early on Sunday to watch LeBron James and our USA basketball team just put it on, Jokovic and whoever else was with him. it was wild to see the best players in the world going as hard as they could against like semi-affordable opponent. It wasn't an all-star game. It was all inspiring is what it was. It was the coolest basketball game I ever watched.
Yeah, no, I mean,
That's what I love about it.
dude, I mean, they all U.S. came out full force. I don't know what clicked, and no, I think when Jokic was on the floor, it was like 81-81. He came out, they outscored by like 26, something like that. I mean, he's a monster. But dude, it's so cool to see all the great U.S. players out there.
I mean, the highlight was Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton giving out about 300 Gatorade cups.
Bunch of cheerleaders, gotta have them.
Give him a break. Fresh legs for the next one. Fresh
that
legs.
guy who was all NBA the last 3 years in a row and just won a championship. You know what? You hang out.
Derek White got more minutes.
Hey, he's
Did
playing.
you guys hear Steve Kerr's explanation after? It just gave me PTSD.
Oh,
it just
it's garbage.
Just all the times I've gotten upset about, if there was a playing time issue and you go talk to a coach and they all give that same robotic answer. It's like, just be realistic. Like if someone needs to get better or they had a bad week of practice, then say that. But don't say that, it's just matchups and there's certain things we want to get done out there. And I really feel bad about not getting him on the floor because he's a great player. No one wants to hear that.
Oh, that's
Literally
all.
no player
That's
wants to
all
hear
garbage. Steve Kerr is playing 4D chess with the Boston Celtics. The rise of the Warriors again is coming. Steve Kerr is sabotaging this whole thing. He's sowing discontent within the big three of the Celtics. Didn't let Jaylen Brown be on the team, and then benched Tatum and started playing Derek White. Now they're all going to fight with each other, and he's going to break. He's going to Yoko Ono the Celtics to where like Warriors are coming back next year. Watch.
Derek White had 20 minutes.
He goes, it killed me that Tatum didn't play. And is that you hit it nail on the head, dude. A coach, any college coach was like, oh, man, I really tried to get you out there. No, you didn't. You could have done it. You should have done it. What are you talking about?
It's your choice.
Yeah, what are you talking
It's
about?
your
You act like there's like 5 dudes over you. He goes, no, you can't put him in. Like, I get it. Put that guy in with the full scholarship. Not the guy I would have. I get that. But, I mean, Kerr should just be like, look, there's 10 dudes out there who just fit better. Because LeBron and KD play the same position. Derek White, different position. So it's the same thing. It just doesn't work.
Well, it's okay.
Like,
it's the old Mike Tyson one though. Like everything changes once you get punched in the mouth. And KD came out and punched everyone in the mouth. He came out and went 8 for 8 from the field, 21 straight points before he missed one. And they're like, well, we'll just play only him.
Yeah.
Like, Derek White will definitely pass him the ball. Let's leave him out there. It's going to go well. Also, and I was texting Nick Stafford the whole game, right? So me and Nick are going back and forth on the game. Owner operator Mercedes. So I'm texting him and I'm like, why did I sleep on KD? Like, why have I not mentioned KD's name for the last 3 weeks leading up to this thing?
Because he hasn't played a minute.
Yeah, well,
Didn't need
KD
to.
said, remember me? He's leaning into the Slim Reaper finally. He's finally accepting the nickname.
What?
Yeah,
He's had that
trying.
for years.
No, but he was he had wanted no
stop.
affiliation with it.
No, you're listening to like a fantasized Dwayne Wade flirt. Like, that's not true. Like, he absolutely has been that guy.
Yeah,
and what I like to see, I want to see
Go ahead, say it.
LeBron and KD just like they did in the first game. Yeah, LeBron, he was 4 for 4 or 6 for 6 at half, and he had KD who was 8 for 8. I want to see those two. KD deep down still believes he's better than LeBron. He just know he hasn't done as much as LeBron, but I think he believes he's a better player. So I want to see those two keep iron sharpening iron, and those two have a healthy relationship of who's going to be the leader of this team, who's going to be the reason we win, and just let it feed off of each other. I think we saw that.
dude, KD, I think KD's a better scorer all time. I mean, LeBron, just bullies people. But if KD was that heavy, he would do the same thing. I think KD's a better scorer than LeBron.
I'll take Carmelo Anthony over all three of them.
Oh, here we go
There's
again.
a Watertown-Syracuse connection right there.
Garbage. Or you didn't see Slim Reaper. Slim Reaper goes to the basket. You saw Easy Money Sniper.
Oh,
okay. That was
Easy
you
Money.
saw EMS. That's EMS was there.
I was watching, so obviously Serbia's playing, and you're watching, and first of all, the teams look drastically different, right? You got a bunch of dudes who are 6'8" plus for America, all like black as midnight, all just like have played professionally for a million years. You look at Serbia, and you got a bunch of fans. You got a bunch of guys who are fans of these players.
It's the Santa Fe Fuego versus the Rockies.
That's what it was.
They had guys like me trying out for their team, just like the home run.
Yeah, but
derby.
you would be the Jokic of the Fuego.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they got out to that big lead in the beginning, and then Steve Kerr calls a timeout, and he says, are you guys confused on why we're here?
Well, I blame it all on Joel Embiid.
Keep going.
Okay, Joel Embiid, when he's
caught the boo birds, by the way, too.
When he's on the court, it's like overall the team is like -10, and then when he's off, the team is like +34. And so Joel Embiid doesn't know how to play international basketball because he fled to come to the United States.
Here we go.
Okay. And he shouldn't be on this team. He should be playing for France.
He should be playing for Cameroon.
Yeah, I was going to say
where
Cameroon.
he's actually from.
They don't have Luol Deng.
Okay, that's fair.
The women today put it on Japan. Van and I watched it from the AT&T store.
We sure did.
Van and I spent 3 hours at the AT&T store today trying to figure out our business account. Also, just call, guys. Like, no offense to the AT&T. So we're in there so long, we're like, can we turn the Olympics on? Before I know it, we're all the way through the women's game. And I'm like, we have been here quite some time. Also, that was my prize picks of the day, boys. So I pulled up and I'll give you my results right here.
Let's hit it.
Promo code KNML, if you want to be part of us playing prize picks, enter promo code KNML, and we will match you up to $100 on your initial deposit. So I took all of the U.S. women's more, and I took all of the Japanese women's less.
Okay.
So this
Smart
was my
move.
vision. Double my money on prize picks today, boys. So
Are you a prize picker, Jimmy?
Yes, I am. So I
Okay.
think my, even though I supposed to report taxes, I think my winnings are just under 10 grand
Okay.
over a couple of years. But my strategy for WNBA in the beginning of the season was hammer the under on every single one. And now it's like, they're getting it going. But yeah, I had some issues with them recently about some protected money, and they didn't give it to me back. So I'm boycotting at the moment. But I know. Shout out Glenn, their customer service rep. He sucks. He sucks. I told him he sucks.
Well, fortunately, now you have a guy in me. So what we will do is try to figure it out. Also, my Yamamoto, she ruined my big 25-time payout, boys. So she had it today. She was him.
Probably a walk-off three-pointer in garbage time.
She obliterated the 9.5.
Nothing will make you hate a player more than when they ruin your perfect 6-leg parlay. I'm like, you just cost me $460. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I will always have a personal vendetta against Yale basketball for the rest of my life.
Too smart for you, huh?
Way too smart. I Ivy League Fridays, no more.
No?
Yeah, I'm done with it.
Dang.
Yeah, nerds.
Jokic got me on a 25 on Sunday. So I hit a perfect sixer, except for Jokic, went for 20, and it was 19.5 on the more or less, and I took less.
That one hurt.
That was 0.5 to me into nothing.
Yeah. Well, you should take all the South Sudan players more when they play Team USA because they're coming out there to slit throats.
Revenge game for them.
Are you talking about you being fooled by them doing well when they were practicing?
No,
against the USA.
I'm
like
fully
not like
in
a
on
real.
Luol Deng. I'm fully in on him.
I wish South Sudan would have won that game. That would have been awesome. They should have just hit that layup.
I like them in like silver or bronze. No one's beating Team USA. Not even Victor Wembanyama in home in Paris stands a chance against Team USA.
Be sweet.
Like
though.
the 50th best player in the league.
Hey,
No.
Anthony Davis is going to whoop him on the court in front of people. He's going to physically beat him.
Yeah,
up.
if they decide to start him over Joel Fraud Embiid.
Dang,
You
Joel's
really,
not
you really
even
don't
playing
like.
good
You really
enough.
don't like Joel.
No, he's a 76er.
He's not even playing well enough. Like if Joel was dominating, I'd be like, okay, thank God he came over.
I'd still be
and is
talking
playing
smack.
for us. But yeah, even then, he's not even like he's actually playing maybe the worst on the team. Of everybody who played, Joel may have been playing the worst.
It's New York versus the world, even in Team USA. I'm a little salty there's no Jalen Brunson representation, okay? So maybe I am going for South Sudan.
Nobody wants to play with Jalen Brunson because he's resetting the market on their own value. They don't want him on the team. He took $150 million less than what he deserved.
Because he wants a statue.
No, because he wants to play with his Vanderbilt boyfriends forever.
Villanova.
That's what
Please
I
and
meant.
Thank you.
And everyone else is mad at him because it messes up their money moving forward. So he's going to get Jalen Brown treatment.
Well, McCall Bridges is going to follow his lead, and then it gets, a little less off of him.
This isn't a movie. There's no Mikal Bridges.
There is.
We're going to break so we can come back at the McLeod YMCA. It's
Mackay Pfeiffer, Fred. It's Mackay Pfeiffer.
You saw what I was doing there.
Sure.
95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Search KNML.
Mike's hot.
Big thank you to Jared Gay, who just joined us. Poor
Good
communication on my end. He had to be out the door. So there we go. Big thank you to everyone who stuck to our technical today.
We got to go through it, man. It's not like we're in a fancy Cumulus Network studio every day. We're out here in the streets
that's true.
with our people. We got some variables to deal with.
Shaking hands, kissing babies, you know.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
There's not been a single baby in here.
Not yet.
All right.
It is very fancy in here.
Daycare's on the other side of the building.
You've been sitting next to me this whole time, so false.
As we continue the program, the conversation over the weekend was not about the medal count, was not about standout performances. It was about how fat and weird the opening ceremonies were.
I felt like I was in the Denver airport watching that.
It sucked, right? And there's a lot of poetic ways to say what I'm about to say. It was low effort. I get that the elements were a factor, but it was not provocative. It was off-putting. And I'm the guy that doesn't super care about art at all. Like, I don't know if I understand either France's or the International Olympic Committee or, Universal is a big part of this. They're not the whole thing. But I don't know if I saw the end game that was missed. Like, I think I'm very confused on the opening ceremonies.
Well, it was supposed to be an ode to Dionysus.
That's what I heard.
And I'm not going to go into it a lot because I'm not that guy.
No.
505-246-0610.
Where are Dionysus at?
Greek mythology historian who knows
all I know about
orgies
Dionysus
or whatever that was.
Dions.
Yeah. Nice. Also, in 2004 at Athens, they already did this.
Sure.
And they did it really well, and it was classy, and it was marble, and it looked the part. And hey Fred, you idiot, marble statues were painted. Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it wasn't? What I saw.
Right.
They literally started with the woman who has her head cut off, Marie Antoinette. Shout out.
Well, and then that was like a rock and roll concert. That was like a hardcore. Call Mike Trujillo. That was like a hardcore.
Well, I'll tell you all about that.
Show.
It's probably like one of the most palatable to me metal bands, Gojira.
Ah.
Yeah, some French legends.
Is that them trying to?
That was like the
Godzilla
the
and a
coolest
Japanese
part. It's like the coolest part for me.
The weirdest part, I think, for a lot of people was that execution around the walkway. Like, I don't think I got it, and I get avant-garde, and I get fashion, and I get the history of France, but there's a way to do that well, and then there's the way that they did it. Also, like, if I'm tuning in the Olympics, like, sumo wrestling is not there. Like, this is not. Yeah, what are you doing? Like, give me a display that is worthy of an Olympic performance. Don't give me what looked to be haphazard, thrown together, unchoreographed, effortless.
Sounds like the French.
Man, I don't want to say that about an entirety of people, but I do want to say it deserved more effort than what it got, and I felt that it was done poorly, and this conversation is taken away from what has been a tremendous start to the games.
What they should have done is just walked with the white flag the entire time.
Who?
The French.
Not the performers,
It's
though.
a surrender joke.
Yeah.
It's a surrender joke.
Well, it reminded me of the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
A lot of people are saying there were biblical ties to this, which
that's
like Magna Carta made an appearance.
That's
not the Jay-Z.
The protector of the River Seine was the weird horse and rider going down the river.
That is not swimmable.
There was explanations for everything through like the history of France and the history of the Olympics and the history of Greek mythology. And no one saw it that way.
No.
Yeah, apparently the Olympics hate Jesus all of a sudden because they got a little too avant-garde artsy.
And if you're like me, you don't watch it with the volume up. Like, no offense to Dwayne Wade doing color commentary of the men's, I did not at all hear him say a word because I watch it.
His pronouns are he, him. His pronouns are he, him.
He did say that punchline a lot.
Yeah,
and I get it. Talking about Kevin Durant. Is that what you're talking about?
He's talking about LeBron.
Oh, was he? Okay. So, yeah, whoever, because I know that's like a trend thing but it's that crappy, we were just talking about on the golf course like a week ago. We were like, what phrases from the dugout don't you need anymore? Like, what phrases from the golf cart don't you need anymore? And Dwayne Wade really showed that he was an end of the bench,
Yeah.
like chanty guy. Like you're not bringing anything to this broadcast, brother.
Well, I think France really struggled with this whole opening ceremony and just the whole performance of everything and having everything lined up, because the last time they had the Olympics was 100 years ago.
Should have been ready. That's plenty of time to prepare.
Yeah,
That's why-
obviously they did not take notes. No, a little rust.
The best part was the light show in the Eiffel Tower. And maybe I'm just like a guy who's into light shows, or
I love a mean light show.
I like choreographed drone stuff.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
stuff. Maybe they couldn't because of the weather. Maybe they had that lined up. I have no clue.
Well, it's like one of the most polluted cities in Europe, and so you probably couldn't have seen it.
The what?
The drones? Yeah.
Well, I don't know enough to know that, and that might have been why they didn't try to do that.
Well, they had to build like 100 like of these huge air purifiers made out of like jet turbines just to like clean up Olympic Village.
That's so crazy.
Sprinters got to breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah, good on them for at least trying.
Well, and this is why only two countries applied for the Winter Games.
Yeah.
You know, it's not what it used to be. It's now a huge
It's more
financial
expensive
debt.
than
Yeah.
anything. Yeah. And no one wants it. You lose more money.
And the bar is too high. No, not bar. The risk is too high for failure.
And with streaming nowadays, you don't even need to go to enjoy it.
Well,
NBC's been killing that.
And it's way more expensive now too, because since China and Dubai, you can't use slaves anymore.
Oh, yeah,
I thought it was Qatar.
Yeah, Qatar. Excuse me,
World
Qatar. Cup. Yeah, you can't use slaves to build these buildings, so it's a lot out of pocket.
It'll slow you down.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Only took
gets in the way.
plus years.
Yeah, the opening ceremony sucked. They sucked bad. And, you know, the way people absorb content now, I feel like all the highlights, and I do appreciate the live streaming the games during the day and then that recap primetime thing with Mike Tirico. You kind of end up watching everything twice. But I feel like the highlights they're showing me are not like really good Olympic battles. They're like people overreacting to tough losses.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, here's a fencer yelling. Here's a judo gal yelling. Here's a whatever, fill in the blank. And I'm like, that's not the spirit of this thing. The spirit of this thing is not
It's to celebrate.
Yeah. The spirit is, I saw a really good highlight of the China gymnastics team watching Simone Biles. And it's just how they're glued to her while she's performing. Also, Simone Biles will be our Isham Diddle soundbite of the day. But we are so spoiled because we only watch Simone Biles all the time. We watch Lee all the time. We watch Childs all the time. Like, we only see the best ones in the world of this thing. If you watch those other countries, they don't have what we have.
Yeah.
Like, we have the three best ones in the world. And if you go to watch who's ever at the bottom tier, Romania or whoever is not what they used to be, gymnastics sucks. It sucks bad.
It's really just it's like Team USA basketball now. We just go out there and dominate.
USA gymnastics?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like women's basketball.
Yeah.
Women's softball.
Yep.
Well, now that Russia can't use all them drugs.
They'll slow you down.
Yeah.
They can't even have their flag.
Well,
it's that too.
Yeah, they'll be out for a lot of years. The number of teams that have been suspended from the Olympics, Russia's in there a lot.
Yeah.
The best part of the opening ceremony was like 3 countries that didn't have enough athletes and they just shared one boat.
Well, there's more than 3 countries. So a lot of them were doubled up on boats, but there were a couple singular ones like you're talking about.
Like Bangladesh had 1 athlete.
Yeah. I think there's over 100 countries, I think, represented,
yeah.
The 130 or whatever. And then 47 U.S. states have Olympians, which is kind of cool. I think there's 4 Olympians from New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So wild, neat, the representation. And if you look at the USA teams, they look like the viewing audience. I mean, they're a bunch of white guys, bunch of Black America, a bunch of Hispanic America, a bunch of Asian America, like everyone is there. It's awesome.
Team USA was so funny to watch because like other than like the really, really recognizable faces of like Team USA basketball and like some of the gymnastics, it's just a bunch of average Joes out there that nobody knows. That's why I love the Olympics, because like you become an expert in all these random niche sports and then you forget it all by the time it's time for the next Olympics, and then it's time to relearn.
Me and Van are watching air shooting today. What were we watching?
Yeah.
Air rifle, whatever.
Yeah.
And we can tell when
the ladies one?
The ladies one. And they're like, whatever, a millimeter off where they need to be. And we're both like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, she choked away her chance at the gold.
I was watching archery this morning, and the South Koreans, they got a team.
Unreal.
Yeah.
They won in air rifle too.
Yeah.
But South Korea has never missed a medal since they got into archery in '88 after the Korea, obviously the war.
Well, that's what they have at the DMZ, just a bunch of archers.
Is that a fact?
No.
Oh,
they need silent assassination attempts
to fight the jungle.
Yeah.
The jungle is actually
to fight 300 miles of nothing and
the
mines.
environment. Yeah, I'm a little off with the opening ceremonies. You got 10 days. Well, I guess they go to the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
So you got about 2 weeks here if you had a plan to do a similar thing at the closing, to make a better decision. But the number I saw was 31 million Americans watched it, and who knows what it was around the world. And it created not so dissimilar, but very much difficult conversation between different types of fan bases. And, the way this country is so by choice divided, I think if you tell me your stance on abortion, I can tell you how you felt about the opening ceremonies of the Olympics.
Pretty wild.
But I mean, it's true for everyone hated it. I can't find a person who was like, that is the coolest thing I ever saw. I can't find a person of that culture that was willing to go out there and say that was the coolest thing they ever saw.
Oh, see, I'm somewhere in the middle because I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah.
Like visually or artistically. And I didn't think it was obviously offensive to anyone. It's offensive to people who have no idea what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
And it's especially offensive to people who didn't put out the effort to find out what all of those scenes really meant.
I thought it was offensive to the Olympics.
Yeah, when we get it in the United States, we're gonna do it right. We're gonna do it crazy.
With cowboy hats and stuff.
Cowboy hats, explosions, and jets.
Mm-hmm.
That to me though is the one. The Olympics deserves more effort than what France gave it. That's how I feel.
See,
I feel like the French feel like it's a burden to have right now. Like it's just like, they couldn't even have like a triathlon pool or destination. They're like, you're swimming in the river with E. coli.
I don't think it was that bad artistically. I don't think it was that bad of an effort. I think it was just very French. And what we're finding out here is the world's opinion of French culture.
It's just because it's resurfacing.
They're like, oh yeah, this is how you guys are.
Enchanté.
Yeah.
The food sucks. It's not as good as they make it out to be.
The Olympic Village TikToks though have the highlight of the
those
Olympics
good?
So it's like they're doing like they're showing every part of their outfits, like every outfit that they have. They're going on tours around, showing the beds, all that, and the food actually in the Olympic Village looks not too bad.
Well, they eat well. I mean, they're all Olympic athletes.
And they have like little scanners where they get like free water, and Powerade.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, what a world.
Why is that a highlight of the thing you're watching? That sounds stupid.
The free water? I mean, come on.
There are a handful of things in my life I don't pay for. Water is on the list.
Yeah,
You have a utility bill.
Just dip your cup in the river. The mayor swam in it.
Yeah, and
that's fine.
Has she made it a public appearance since? I don't know.
I thought it was a fella.
No, it's a woman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're thinking of the former or current interim prime minister Macron.
Oh, he's in a tough spot.
Yeah, he's on the way out.
Yeah,
he's got 2 more weeks of living it.
Their politics set like the table for what the United States politics are about to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole world is about to go in a much different direction than what it's been in, and I hope that direction fixes opening ceremonies for Olympics moving.
That's all that matters.
Fingers crossed.
As it relates to the Olympics, that's all that matters.
That's about it.
David Weezy Carl will join us after the break. It's 2 men on. We're going to talk the United. If he's not here, because traffic is a thing in our life.
Yeah.
We'll do our Isham Dental soundbite of the day. It's 2 men on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On, live from the McLeod YMCA. David Weesey Carl, the New Mexico United, joined us. DWC, welcome.
Hello. Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Do you get to watch the Olympics when you're watching the United beat everyone? Like, do you have time for that?
Not at the same exact time. But we took a couple buses down to the El Paso match this weekend.
Yeah.
So we were watching the whole way back, watching the Olympics, watch a little basketball, watch a little soccer, gymnastics, tennis.
Is there one that jumps out to you as like the must-watch sport at the Olympics?
In the Summer Olympics, I love the U.S. women's soccer team. That's my favorite.
Okay.
We crushed Germany.
Yeah, absolutely. They
Had it coming.
Uh-huh.
Long time waiting.
They're used to
Hey,
it.
put that right in front of your mouth.
Yes, sir.
That's perfect.
But yeah, so I was watching that. I'm a big tennis guy. I love tennis.
Mhm.
It's my favorite sport to play and all that. So a lot of tennis for me. Indoor volleyball is fun, man. And one thing I was noticing about indoor volleyball, like the men's and women's both, no matter like if it's the top team in the world against the 50th team in the world, or if they're right next to each other, it's always close. And there's just a lot of parity in volleyball. I don't know.
Team USA lost to China today. Yeah.
A lot of pump fakes.
They go up and then they.
Oh my gosh! And I go.
I don't know enough about volleyball to know why it's always close, why there's so much parity, but it seems like more than like any other sport. It's very tight.
I have broadcast a lot of it, like in my collegiate broadcasting days, and the fan base for it is primarily just friends and family of the players. Like it's not like widely viewed or whatever.
That's what it was.
Other than the Nebraska women's team.
Different type of viewership.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a spectacle. It's more of a spectacle audience. So, but anyway, with that said, when you broadcast it, you don't have to be super specific to the action because they all know what's going on. So it's just like doing a podcast for like an hour.
Were you, was this TV or radio broadcast?
Both.
Yeah, I feel like radio would require a heck of a lot more description, as in most sports.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, like I said, I don't know enough to know, but I know it's fun. I like to watch it.
How much more fun is it to watch after your team beats El Paso?
Everything's a little bit sweeter.
Yeah,
when you get El
I
Paso.
hate them so much.
I know you've told me that.
I look right at them and I get so mad.
They're the worst. I've heard war stories of fans going there.
That's what El
beer
Paso
cans
stands
throwing-
for. It's Spanish for the worst.
Oh, and who knew?
El
Lo siento, no
worst.
hablo español.
Thank you. But no, so this is only, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like their second or third loss in 3 years at home, and 2 of them are to you?
No, that's incorrect.
I'm sorry.
They actually are. They're having a bad year. They're in last place.
Oh, okay.
Good. They have actually not won a home game all year, which is crazy. You normally, if somebody's bad, it's the opposite, right? They get a couple wins at home and they lose on the road. They've got 3 wins in total all year, and they have not won at home at all, which is crazy. And we completed the sweep of them this year. We play each Western Conference team twice, beat them at home. Now we beat them on the road.
I'm not big for Schadenfreude usually. I don't try to get pleasure out of the pain of others.
I'm from Philadelphia.
But
I'm all about that.
when it's El Paso,
yeah,
God, their demise.
They make you grit your teeth.
Num 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 num.
Yeah. We don't like them. They don't like us. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. That's generally how rivalries work.
It's the best rivalry in New Mexico.
They are not in New Mexico. I need to be
El Paso is basically New Mexico.
That's gross, dude. I mean,
they are. I think they're so much more New Mexico than they are Texas. I really think that
they're like Las Cruces 2.0.
I agree.
The only place on earth I speed
hear me out, Mexico.
Juarez.
Yeah.
like
They're
that.
also closer to Juarez. I think culturally than they are to Texas. 100%.
There's like 2.5 million people down there.
There's
It's like a ton of people.
It's a big community. It's bigger than Albuquerque.
The only thing it does kind of okay is pro wrestling, and that's even barely okay.
They do tacos pretty good down there.
UTEP, the Sun Belt, not bad.
Do you think ex-United legend Armado is just like laying in bed,
good question,
Wolverine meme style, just like stroking pictures of when he used to be here up in Albuquerque?
Yeah, we talked about Armando a lot over the past week or so. Just like me and fans, and we're on the bus, we're talking about the game, all that kind of stuff, and it's got to be tough for him, man. I mean, you go from New Mexico United, you leave the team, and then New Mexico United's in first place, and your team that you left them for is in last place. I mean, that can't feel good.
A big shout out to Sergio Rivas too.
Yeah, let's go. Love that
had
guy.
a heck of a season.
Albuquerque lad, one of our own, and he's had a heck of a year. Scored in the match prior, and yeah, Sergio's been terrific. Great dude. Loves community work too, which we always appreciate that. We always love that. And yeah, there's a little chant going on in the away the match in El Paso. And by the way, away fans, if you go ahead and back and watch the broadcast, the loudest fans in the park by far.
Love that.
Not surprised.
They stick you in the corner like they always
Yeah,
do.
they always do that.
I hate that.
I actually, no, bring it on because we're still louder in the corner. It's
Love
the
that.
best.
Okay.
The sound bounces off of it.
Boom.
Get them.
Bounces off all their empty seats.
Good.
But no, there was a chant that was going on, and it was "Wake me up before you go. Who needs a Mondo when we got Marco?" I mean, that's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. Come on, and then we
That's
won.
a good one.
All right. So is momentum real in soccer?
I think momentum's real in every sport.
Oh, you do.
I do. I believe in
Okay.
momentum. Strongly.
So and you play Saturday or you play Wednesday
Wednesday and Saturday,
and Saturday.
both home.
Okay, both home.
Yep.
So this could end up being at or near the best week in the history of United Soccer. Are you messing with me right now?
It's a big week. It's
Yeah.
a big week. I mean, beating El Paso to start it is terrific. We got Wednesday night. We're playing against Las Vegas Lights.
Pretty good.
They're playing really well right now.
Spend money.
Yeah, they got new ownership in the offseason.
Yep.
Jose Bautista, now their owner, Joey Bats. And they in previous years weren't really taken seriously. They didn't take the game seriously. They were very sticky, very Vegas, right? But they've invested, and they are one of the hottest teams in the league right now. So that'll be a tough one on Wednesday. And then Saturday is the top team in the East. We're the top team in the West. We're taking on the top team in the East in Louisville. That is probably the biggest match of the year as far as interconference goes.
Do United fans, do soccer fans here kind of understand how Louisville so quickly has become like the example of this league? Because what they're doing business-wise, what they're doing facility-wise, the way they built their team. They just lost their coach recently too, right? 2 years ago?
A couple years ago, yeah.
So, I mean, they're a team that just keeps recharging and reloading. That is your biggest game of the year, or am I wrong?
It's the biggest interconference game of the year. I would
Okay.
say I would put our biggest games of the year to be probably our conference rivals, right? Whether that's the actual rivals that we don't like Phoenix and El Paso, or the teams that are competing with us for the top spot in Sacramento and Oakland. Those are big ones. But when you got the top team in the West against the top team in the East, I mean, that's must-watch soccer. It's going to be a blast. And you're right about, they've become kind of the example of the league, right? They have the second most points in the history of the league. The team that is ahead of them, and just barely ahead of them in points in the history of their existence, has been around for 12 years longer than them. I mean, that gives you an idea of just how good this team has been in and year out. They go to at least the Eastern Conference semifinal or better every year. They're a team we want to emulate and, frankly, beat on Saturday.
Results on the field, very important. But what's important to me, David, which
Bam.
Marvel superhero are you going to dress up as on Saturday?
Yeah, it's a good question. Probably some sort of disgusting amalgamation of all of them. I've got some Hulk hands.
Okay.
I've got a Thor hammer.
Iron Man mask.
I could do that. By the way, you see Tony Stark is Dr. Doom now. What
Oh,
the
we
hell?
saw.
What
we
the
saw-
hell?
Have you heard of the multiverse?
Yeah, no. I'm a big old comic book guy. I know about Earth. Was it 1710 or something like that? I know.
1738.
There you go.
Okay, Fetty.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? Hello. Yeah, I know about all that. It's just it was weird. It was weird to see. But we'll see how it goes.
I think just Robert Downey Jr. was a little bored.
I think that's exactly what it is. And I think that the superhero movie has been doing as well at the box office lately.
Without him?
And they're like, let's bring back our golden goose. That's what I think.
If Marvel needs a new Black Panther, we got a dude disguised as a dude playing another dude.
Oh,
Good
yes.
answer.
That's a great reference.
Thank you.
The United have not lost a soccer game in over a month.
I knocked on the table.
That's the craziest
Don't say that
sentence.
stuff out loud.
Yeah, you don't talk about it?
Well, no, there's plenty of streaks that are ongoing and we're aware of, and we talk about them when they break records and not before.
Oh,
Hey-o.
I like that. That's juicy.
yeah, but also I want the world to know what you're looking at.
Yeah. Are you gonna visualize the win?
Stop again. No one visualizes.
Every match we're getting closer and closer to some big things, right? And the biggest thing is winning a title. The last match against El Paso was our halfway point of the season. We're in first place with a little bit of a cushion. We want to build that cushion, and if we can win against Vegas and Louisville this week, that goes a long way.
Game over.
I mean, that's huge. It's huge. I mean, if you think about it, let's just say we finish top in the West. That'd be great. Louisville right now top in the East, and so head to head is the first tiebreaker. So if we meet them in the final, then we get to host. That's huge. That makes all our fans. We want our fans.
Is it 9 of your last 15 are at home? Is that correct?
We've got 10 left at home.
Okay.
10 left at home. Yeah. So 10 of our remaining 16.
Si se puedes.
Si se puede. Vamos.
That's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
So help me understand. October 26th rolls around. That's home against Memphis. The season, regular season, will wrap at that time. What happens next? What happens next for soccer fan? Are there season tickets extended into postseason play? Do you have to? Is there a mad scramble for everything new?
Yeah.
If you know, but ahead of time, does that come out? Like, how does all that work?
It's a good question because remember, this is year 6, right? So
Yeah.
we've made the playoffs 4 out of the 5 previous years.
Pretty good.
But we've never hosted.
Yeah.
We've never been in the top 4. So hopefully we can do that this year. If we continue doing what we've been doing, we'll do that. So we're figuring that part out, right? So if you're a season ticket holder, it's not that you're automatically renewed into having playoff tickets. That's not how it works. But you would most likely have priority access, right? You absolutely will have priority access. So if you're used to being in section 121, row B, seat 12,
stop telling everyone my seat.
That is where that you will have the opportunity to reserve that seat before they go on sale to the general public. But that's a while away. Hopefully, the goal is we have that locked up way ahead of time. We know we're going to host, and then we can start selling that way ahead of time. Because if, let's just say, we find out before the playoffs start, that's a heck of a lot harder to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of success this season. A lot of young players too.
Mm-hmm.
How does a manager rein these guys in? Don't let their heads get too big.
You have Eric Quill, football period.
Yep.
I mean that's a really big part of it. I mean, this guy.
That's soccer, Jake.
Yeah, I had to think about it for a
you.
second.
Okay.
If you like, you could call him a gaffer.
Yeah, he is the gaff. But I mean, really, when it comes down to it, I mean, this is a guy who we've had great coaches in the past. Troy Lesane is one of my favorite people on the planet. Love that guy. Eric has a great combination of tactical knowledge and people management that is hard to find in one person. Right? The really great coaches have it, but it's hard to find in one person, and Eric has it. So his ability to manage people, to get people to buy in, he's brought in his type of guys to play pressing, fun, attacking football. I mean, it's a blast. And I think when you win, it also helps a lot too. I mean, any sport you win, the locker room's going to be a better place to be in.
So the locker room vibes are high.
The vibes are what's the phrase? The vibes are I don't know. They're good.
We're not cool. We're not cool.
There's
guys.
good aura going on.
There's a good aura. It's positive going on right now. And the key will be we will have a rough stretch at some point in the season, right? I mean,
doubt it.
I hope not. But every season has it, right? I mean, unless you're, the 72 Dolphins, pretty much every season has some sort of a rough patch. How do we react? How
Tom
do we
Brady
respond?
couldn't do it.
Exactly. Tom Brady didn't go undefeated. I mean, he went undefeated in the regular season, but he couldn't finish it, right?
Yep.
So how do you react when things don't go your way? That's going to be the difference between us being a good team and a great team.
Are the vibes higher in the front office or in the locker room?
I mean, the vibes are up in both. I mean, we feel it when we lose in the front office, man. From fans, from us. I mean, we're all fans too. I mean, that's the thing. We love the team. We want to win. We want to.
You got 12 of them. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, we enjoy it. We have as many wins as El Paso has total points. Hey,
get them.
But so when we lose or when we drop points, like we drew a couple weeks ago against Birmingham, right? We felt we should have won that game. It's not a great vibe. We want to win. So it's good that the standard has risen so much, where in years past we might have been like, oh, it's a good point against Birmingham. No, we don't want to drop any points at home ever. So yeah, it makes a big difference when we win, and that's in the front office and in the locker room.
Do you think home field advantage is going to be like a big thing?
Oh my God, it's huge. It's huge. I mean,
especially playoff time.
100%. I mean, we have the best fans in American soccer, period, bar none. I mean, we travel, but we had more fans, louder fans in El Paso than they had in their stadium. We brought 500 fans to LA for a match that we had no business playing, and we stuck with LAFC, probably the best team in American soccer, for 90 minutes. I mean, these fans are unbelievable. And they come out and they support not just because they love soccer, but because they love New Mexico, and that's the big thing. And that's why I care.
How come the Phillies can't figure it out at the trade deadline?
That's a fair question.
I just don't get it. There's less than a day left. It's like you don't want to do anything to help the bullpen.
What are you talking about? We got Austin Hayes.
Wait, you're not nervous that the Mets are going to come and overtake you?
I'm not worried about the Mets. Although, I mean, hell, they're ahead of the Braves right now.
Yeah.
I love seeing the Braves struggle. It's a big help that the Braves have been so injured this year. I mean, I'm going to take that anytime we can get it. We're a few pieces away. I mean, we're good enough to win a title, but we're not at the point where people are saying they should win the title, right? Which again, that's a nice problem to have, right? To be in that space and not complaining about it. But when you're that close, you're in win now mode. You're like, why didn't we go out and get Tommy Pham, right? Why didn't we go out and get who we needed? We got Austin Hayes, who's exactly fine. We had Kristen Pache, who he was a defensive.
I mean, as long as you got Bryce Harper, you'll be okay.
Who is Carlos Estevez?
Is our closer, buddy.
That's the
From the
real name
Angels?
of Charlie Sheen.
Does he have a guy that plays the trumpet when he comes out?
He does not. He does not.
Lame.
You know, I'm interested. Our bullpen. It's funny. Statistically, the bullpen is actually the best in the National League, but I never feel comfortable. I maybe
Never should.
Yeah, and it's funny. You go out there into the ninth inning with a 2-run lead, and Sir Anthony Dominguez comes on, who's no longer with us now. But it's like I'm not as comfortable with it as I should be. And we've lost 4 straight series. We've lost 4 straight. It's the first time all season we've done.
In
that.
your fantasy football league, are you taking Saquon, Jalen, or AJ Brown first?
AJ, not even close.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not even close. I like Saquon and I like Jalen, and I think Saquon will do really well in the passing game. It'll be good in PPR leagues, but it's not even close. AJ's different tier than those guys.
We got to take a break. You hanging out for one more? Or are you done?
I can hang.
David, we see Carl being with us whenever we get back. It's 2 Men On live from the McLeod YMCA on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen.
The 2 Men On live from the Cloud YMCA. David Weesey Carl of the New Mexico United joining us. 2 big games this week at home at Isotopes Park. I really enjoy soccer at Isotopes Park.
Yep.
How do those Wednesday crowds draw?
Obviously less than Saturdays typically, but that's funny. Our biggest crowd of the year was actually a Wednesday crowd this year. That was on the 3rd of July when we had fireworks. People love fireworks, man. People love fireworks.
That's all we want in this country.
Put that in front of your mouth, Jake. So I just bought a house over by Isotopes Park.
Yep.
You hear fireworks a lot.
It's sweet.
It's
We do it
awesome.
twice a year. Okay, good talk.
So sweet.
Yeah.
I can see it from my backyard. It is kind of cool.
Why don't you buy some drones? I have this idea.
I've looked into like drone shows because
Yeah.
those are pretty sweet.
They're
I don't know if
pretty
you saw them
sweet.
like for the Olympics and stuff like that. They can do like any design you can think of. They can do it. It's pretty cool. So, but they are. It ain't cheap. It ain't cheap.
I feel like if we just, I mean, I know Raspberry Pi a little bit. Can't we just like
Just program. Where are you gonna get the drones?
drone store?
The drones.
We're
Where'd you
looking
get that
for the
suit?
truck that spills.
There you go.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that suit at the toilet store?
Nice.
It's not untrue. So now that your Phillies are going to finish last in Major League Baseball, because the St. Louis Cardinals today have cleaned house at the trade deadline. I don't know if you boys are seeing this. They're taking all the best players from every team that has ever given up, man.
It's like an expansion draft.
You stole a good one that I really wanted the Astros to go after.
Okay.
Eric Fetty. He is a underrated
Fetty Wap.
gym. Yes. You got both eyes,
I was
though.
like, whoa.
Yeah, let me add the prequel. I
take
can
it
say
easy.
that. You can say that. You guys can't say that.
There's also a rumored trade between the Cardinals and the Rockies, which is not official yet, where the Cardinals will continue to fleece the Rockies the exact same way.
What's the rumor?
Why'd the Rockies get rid of young budding superstar Brenton Doyle?
It's not official yet, but it looks like it's over.
I feel like this happens every year, though. This is not the first time that this has happened. You got Matt Holliday made that trip. Now this.
Nolan Arenado 2 years ago. Yep. I don't understand. Actually, I think in his heart, Charlie Blackmon has been a St. Louis Cardinal for like 10 years.
I mean, that's awesome. The Cardinals got 2 AAA teams they get to choose from.
Yeah, third in the NL Central never looked so good.
It is prime for the taking. But this will end up being from right now until beginning of November, considering the Olympics, considering United Soccer, considering Major League Baseball playoffs.
Duke City Championship Wrestling.
Love that. August the 31st over at the Rio Rancho Event Center, locked in, the largest show of the year. Let's go.
Rio Rancho Event Center. Let's go. Vamos. Love that.
Also interested in attending, DCCWtickets.com. Put in promo code United. Nothing will happen, but it's nice. It's nice to know. DWC, thank you so much, brother.
Hey, Somos Unidos Foundation Gala, Atlantic Aviation, September 7th. Coming out with us, raise money for kids.
Yeah.
We're in.
Let's do it.
Zooming on. 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On, live from the Cloud YMCA. Come out to the Y, go to the front desk, say hello, Van Nunley sent me. That'll get you 1 month free on your boys. So do that.
Not even like a deal. I'll just buy it. Not even from the fine people at the YMCA. Straight out of my checking account to the YMCA.
Van literally has a pocket protector right now with the credit card in it.
Ready to swipe.
That's awesome, dude. Tried watching surfing over the weekend. Have you guys watched this?
You know, it was surfing and equestrian, and I was only getting equestrian.
Oh, it's so funny you're saying that because I watched both because I was trying to compare them.
Mhm.
And I'm going to tell you this, NBC don't care about sports that aren't basketball. There was the amount of balance that wasn't on these microphones. There's only one camera, like on this whole like equestrian thing. And then on the surf, there were multiple cameras. But, and this is not going to like be that surprising to you guys, some of those cameras were in the water and not really usable because they were just bloop, 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 bloop.
That's not as exciting as it should be.
What I learned about surfing, though, is that colonies still exist. Tahiti is still technically France.
No, actually it is.
Yeah.
Not technically. It has been.
Since colonization.
France is in like 12 different time zones.
Yeah, the French Guyana in South America.
That's one of them, yes.
Yeah. I couldn't name any. Oh, Tahiti now. I have two now I can name.
Dude, like all over the world. And if you count Antarctica, because everyone kind of owns a piece of that, it's in almost every time zone.
Not Vietnam anymore, though.
Okay. These aren't facts you're giving. These are very loose understandings.
I have a loose understanding of the world, Fred, and the Olympics is really my only base for it.
That Tahiti that you were talking about, the waves at the surf thing was about the coolest thing you could see. Like so I was watching some side-by-sides of the Olympic gold and this Gabriel Medina who won it this year for the men. And the Olympic gold of this year, it's like night and day. Like the advancement, and I don't watch a ton of surfing, so don't, like I'm not an expert. But I'm telling you, like there is such growth in these sports that I've spent zero time with. And I'm like, I think I'm falling in love with weird sports. I'm falling in love with Olympic sports.
Yeah, they should make ESPN the Ocho like a real thing.
It is right now. Like if you turn on ESPN right now,
the Olympics.
I was watching it. It was on at the Wing Bar the other day while I was watching the Olympics, and they were having, I don't know the name of it, Omega Soccer. It was 3 teams playing soccer at once in a circle field.
Saw that.
And I'm like, this is how little ESPN is trying to take from the Olympics. Like they don't care, and I'm enjoying all this weird stuff. Like I'm loving it.
It's like you have such a short-term memory deficit that you forget you feel this way every 4 years about the Olympics. It's like, oh my God, this is amazing. Oh my God, I forgot how cool this was. Oh, but what an incredible athlete. And then in a month, you just be like, oh, baseball playoff. Let's go, baby.
Football.
Football's coming back.
Yeah, but I did see a mountain biker drive faster than a motorcycle over the weekend. And I was like, this dude rocks. Like,
are they doing on like the Tour de France area?
I think part of it is because they kept showing the overlay of the map. But again, NBC does not put the effort in to these like non-NBC USA broadcasts.
Yeah, they won't even show me women's badminton.
It's not happened yet.
It's pretty much just basketball, swimming, and women's soccer and gymnastics that is really getting the highlight. Anything.
I mean, those are the big ones. Like
the U.S. highlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like if you were watching like in Japan, like that cat that won street again and skate, which I watched him, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
I see. I would rather watch other countries' broadcasts. I think it would be a lot better.
It's the exact same video. So they only have one camera and it goes to like a hub or whatever. And then you can put your whatever over
like
that.
The commentary?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to watch Mexico's.
The Spanish language is extremely more exciting than English.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine when the equestrian horse starts crip walking, they're going to go, oh, go!
Yeah, for sure. It would be so fun.
Whenever Spain beat the USA today in water polo, the USA broadcast, which is like Jim Nance, it's like they're deflated. Like, because they spend the first 3/4 of the thing explaining to you the rules of water polo, like how the substitutions work and points work and fouls work and common whistles and zones. And then they're like, oh, shoot, we're actually going to be out of this pretty quick. We just wasted a ton of time. We're not going to get to the qualifying round. We're on the medal round.
Well, at least we're learning how the game works.
That's we'll forget in 4 years.
I already forgot.
Yeah, I'm sure they spent a lot of time explaining like how dominant the USA has been in women's water polo, and then why the camera keeps panning over to Flava Flav, who is personally sponsoring the women's water polo
Is that
team.
real?
Yeah,
it's very real.
He played with them, and he had the chain on in the pool.
Yeah, this is a very real thing that happened.
There's so much weird.
Flavor Flav helped finance the travels.
And I bet you he's
of the
naming
women's
every
water.
single one of those girls on the team. Okay, you're kitten.
There's so much weird placement. It feels like from Universal on this one.
Mm.
The Snoop Dogg stuff is too much.
It's too much.
It's like I get that he's on The Voice. Like I get that he's that thing or whatever, but he's not, number one, entertaining enough, and number two, relevant enough. He's not the thing he was when he tried to kill a guy in the 90s. Probably did.
He just wants to promote his gin and juice product. That's really why he's doing all of this.
He has so many products. It's like, I don't know who decided, but it feels like 20-ish years ago they decided we're gonna turn Snoop Dogg face
into a family man.
Snoop Dogg's
Yeah.
gonna be the good guy now. We're gonna pair him up with Martha Stewart. We're gonna put him on Starburst commercials. You're gonna
Kevin
love him,
Hart.
and then we're gonna shove him down your throat for everything.
See, I think Snoop Dogg's the highlight of his whole career is when he narrates like Animal Planet. Like I could watch that all day. But the Olympics, he's kind of been.
So that's a different thing to me though, because that's just him in a studio at home, like cutting like some lines that somebody else wrote for him.
Right.
He's not watching that stuff. It's a good edit. This is like you're making Mike Tirico slum, is what this is.
Mhm.
Mike Tirico is the number one he's the number one broadcaster NBC has in live sports, probably the number one studio host. And you're gonna be like, hey, prime time on NBC for 14 straight days, we're gonna steal 20 minutes from all your broadcasts so that you can laugh at dated weed jokes.
Yeah.
Well, he's probably not even high right now.
Oh, I doubt
Tirico?
that.
No. I mean, it would help if he was.
He's like, all right, Mike, be really patient with us the next half hour. You're going to hear a lot of izzles. So just stay focused, keep your head down, stay in the game. Snoop's here for half an hour.
He's just waiting for football to come back.
Medals galore for the United States. They've started off well. Are you guys, aside from basketball on Wednesday, is there anything you're looking forward to?
Skateboarding, I think, and breakdancing, breaking as they call it, on the last day.
It's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, I think basketball is really like the main thing for me, and then I would say women's soccer is number 2 for me.
Yeah, I feel like all the names I was familiar with in women's soccer for so many years
They're just
are
gone. Yeah.
So it's
Shout out the girl with the pink hair, whatever her name is.
is there a new one?
Yeah.
Oh, we got a new Rapinoe?
Yeah.
Ah, that's nice.
Oh, it's long. It's braided. Or it's dreads.
Not Rodman's kid?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the hat trick gal?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that guy was a stud. I don't remember her name.
Yeah.
What'd she do? Like pull a rabbit out of it?
Got a hat
What'd
trick.
she do?
Yeah.
3
whole
against
thing.
Germany.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It's really good. Super talented.
Well, and that's the thing. Like maybe this is breakout opportunity for women's soccer again. Because they seem to get this every
like 2
12
years.
Yeah, maybe it's that fast. But I remember Blinken and Alex Morgan was the new hotness. She gone. They do. And also that's because they're inspiring so many young athletes. Like
Yeah.
women want to play soccer now.
I think my favorite Olympic sports are the ones where I can individually pick a person and be like, I think they're gonna win, like swimming or track. I think that's what really gets the juices flowing for me instead of the team oriented sports.
There was one over the weekend where the women gymnastics were qualifying for individuals, and Simone Biles is good. She's gonna make the all around.
She has a documentary, of course she's good.
And then Lee, who won gold medal 4 years ago. So she has to hit a pretty relatively achievable score. And if she does, she knocks out Childers. And she hits it and she knocks her out. And it's the top 18, but only top 2 from each country. This might not be accurate, but it's close. So she's out. She has the 3rd best score in the world. She's out. She doesn't get a chance to go. And the commentary is looking for the outrage of her. You know what I mean? It's I feel like the camera was trying to find her. And this is a tough moment for her. She'll be in the team. I have no doubt they'll win team all around gold. But you're not telling me that story. Like, that's the story. I want the success Lily. I get that she had.
They're just
the
looking for the
autoimmune
clickbait
disease.
right now. That's kind of like
And
the social media world we
with,
look at.
Hey, with
live
the
in.
opening ceremonies too, I think they were doing that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And they're just trying to get like the reactionary things, because that gets more views at the end of the day. People would rather watch people's downfall than their upbringing.
Yeah, the media, i.e., us, took way more effort highlighting all the outrage from Christian groups about the opening ceremonies than they did taking the simple amount of time to explaining what people were seeing.
Mm-hmm.
It's if it bleeds, it leads, right? Like, we're very well aware of, how big sensationalism is in our industry. But instead of explaining to the world what you're actually seeing, you're going to keep highlighting all the outrage instead.
And then you get
it's kind of irresponsible.
When you even get like weird narratives on the success, right? So Ledecky gets the bronze in freestyle, 100-meter free, and that's her worst event. That's her worst event. But the highlight or the way it's being packaged is, how's she falling off?
End of an era.
Yeah, her stuff is, and she's gonna gold out on a bunch of other stuff.
Well, swimming's kind of been ruined for me because there's no Phelps. Like, I feel like what they should do is they should have like a line or like a image of Michael Phelps swimming to see how like incredibly gifted he was as an athlete compared to like who's competing now. Because like then I would really have an understanding of how good he was. Like, now swimming, I'm like, if
they did like the 40-yard dash thing, like over it,
yeah.
Well, they do that. If you're chasing a world record, yeah, they do the line. They don't like have,
but it should be there every time.
A ghost lane of Michael Phelps just the whole time swimming back and forth.
Yeah,
that line.
That's a bit much.
I'm in love with that line. To me, I have to have it. I feel like I also have to have the strike zone on baseball games now, like the little box.
Yeah, can't go without it.
Can't go without it.
Yeah.
And when it first showed up, I was like, what is this? Get this stupid box off of here.
Or they should just add like an average Joe to go out there, like maybe somebody that swam in high school or something, to be in one of the lanes to really see how fast they're going. Because 2 meters a second swimming, I don't comprehend how fast that is, because they all look fast.
It's so funny you're saying that, because I watched that the other day. So some swimmer had lost their head cover or whatever in the pool.
Oh, the cap retriever guy.
Yeah, and this dude just jumps in,
speedo,
and it takes them, handful of minutes to get in the water. It takes them that much time to go down and grab the thing. It takes them that much, and you go, oh yeah, it's actually really hard to move in water.
Yeah, I felt so bad for him, where he's surrounded by like Greek gods and goddesses, and then he has to go out there trotting his dad bod in a speedo.
I mean, it is kind of embarrassing getting like all the germs off you, like somebody's cleaning you before you get in the pool.
Spray him down with the hose. Doesn't contaminate. He's gonna bring E. coli into the pools.
We got to delouse Rick real quick so we can jump and grab a cap.
If you don't have the Peacock app, get the Peacock app. It has been fun to jump around. Every single sport is being broadcast. You can watch sand volleyball and see the Eiffel Tower in the background.
Yeah.
It's all kinds of cool access that I don't feel like I have previously seen in other Olympics. And you can literally not miss a moment. Will they all be produced as well as the primetime coverage stuff? No, no, they will not.
Not even close.
Us as a trio could have went over there and bid the broadcaster for something. I know. I've been watching this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
God, just weird. Just weird.
You peeped any of the Gold Zone yet?
No. Yeah, the Gold Zone with Scott Hansen.
It's
just getting me hyped for football.
I haven't watched it during like peak Olympic time, like earlier in the morning where there's 40 sports going at the same time. But like at the end of the day where there's less, I've seen it, and it's pretty well done.
Oh yeah, I mean Scott Hansen,
it was
Syracuse man, he knows what he's doing.
It was a great idea. You got to work out the kinks, that's for sure, on this one. But
as at the end of today, here's the medal count. You ready? The United States of America has 20.
Boom.
That would put them in first place. They're also in first place in bronze medals with 9.
Nice.
They're in first place with silver medals with 8. And they're chasing 5 in the gold medals, as they have 3 and Japan has 6. So 5th overall, Japan has 6 gold medals, leading the way in first place finishers. The United States leading the way in overall medals.
Is China number 2?
Japan, France, the People's Republic of China, Australia, and the Republic of Korea. So
is the Republic of Korea north or south?
That would be South.
Okay.
And Great Britain is number 10, although South Korea got introduced as North Korea during the opening ceremonies.
Yeah, I saw that. That's what got me confused. I was like, okay, shout out to the DPRK.
No one is shouting them out. And
Jay Choi did in the chat.
They also raised the Olympic flag upside down. It was a abomination of a opening ceremony.
That's just the most beautiful exclamation point on such a fail. Put the flag upside down.
Well, if anything, this just gives
Call
the
South
United
Korea
States more
North Korea.
juice. We're gonna really knock our socks off. Because if any country in the world knows how to put on a show, it's us.
Yeah, and that's gonna be awesome seeing a Summer Olympics right in the middle of a civil war. It's gonna be amazing.
I can't wait. We'll be watching from the sniper tower.
The weird one is the socio-political one where it's the Olympics will come to LA and Skid Row will get demolished.
Oh yeah.
It's
they're already preparing for it.
They are.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
They did it during the Super Bowl when we were there.
Mhm.
They cleaned out downtown.
Or when Xi Jinping came to San Fran, they were all gone.
See ya. And they start laws and stuff right now too. It's
Yeah. Well, Gavin Newsom's doing a whole bunch right now in California.
Got to have a permit to sit on the tailgate of your truck, and you're like, "What? That's a stupid law."
They're gonna take all benches out. No sitting.
Ugh. I need a bench. I need to sit, boys. When we get back from the break, we continue towards the Major League Baseball trade deadline. We're going to hit on that. Also, it's NFL this week, boys. It's officially back.
It's been 26 weeks.
We'll talk about the NFL a little bit this upcoming Thursday night. Really not the game specific, just how to prepare for the season. Obviously, fantasy football drafts and everything related to that as well. It's 2 Minutes on live from the McLeod YMCA on 95.9 FM and AM 610. Boo, Sports Animal.
This you by the clubs.
Breaking news, it's being reported that the NFL has changed their kickoff rules as it relates to onside. You guys see this yet?
How is that a boo? Make it more exciting.
So onside kicks are now illegal before the fourth quarter. Team must be losing to kick an onside kick, and the team must announce intention to kick an onside kick ahead of time. Wild. You picked up the wrong headset. Jake Cassio, everyone needs to grow up.
You missed the last Monday segment where I'm becoming a man now.
I don't know what that means. Eliminating ambush kicks kind of sucks.
I mean, go ahead and take away the Saints Super Bowl win if we're going to take away ambush kicks, because they don't beat the Colts. They don't beat the Saints without that surprise onside kick. Or I'm completely off. It's the Colts versus the Bears, the Super Bowl I'm talking about.
Devin Hester returned that opening.
Which one
kickoff.
was it? It was the Saints. It was Sean Payton that made that call.
Saints did it. Yeah, coming out of halftime.
And who'd they beat?
Probably the Colts, I guess, because Peyton Manning only won one ?
Two. Well, one with Indianapolis.
Yeah, and then one with Denver.
Yeah,
because they beat the Bears because Devin Hester is the best player in the world for 1 year. This
Colts.
is pretty lame. This is like a lame thing.
Well, you can't really do onsides with the new kickoff format. So
That's a
this
good
is
point.
This is just a Band-Aid on a problem that they had regardless. They're going to figure out something else.
Well, I mean, the usage of onside kicks was going down and down and down. You converting was like slim to none. So like coaches just were like, it's better to just squib kick it.
And I feel like in that comeback of the Patriots and the Eagles, or the Patriots and the Falcons, I feel like the Patriots did one in like the third quarter in the Super Bowl. That might not be completely accurate, but I think it's accurate. And I don't know, they're part of the game. They'll try to get a little 2-for-1 thing.
And now it just feels like there's a bigger separation between college and NFL now. Like there already was one, but it's even bigger now.
Well, when they moved the defensive line up 5 yards on kickoffs, it almost eliminated the success of onside kicks anyways.
You would have to change it to like hit a dude in the chest, grab the rebound. Like
off the helmet.
The approach would change. But I think teams had kind of gone to that anyways. And then you would get teams that would immediately call for a fair catch the second it was touched.
Yeah.
That way, if they touched it, the whole thing was done. Coaching is weird.
Or like, what if they had two kickers, right? And one of the kickers is onside kicks only, and you really just practice on that bounce. Because I feel like that's another hard part too for the onside kick, is these guys are just practicing kickoffs and field goals and PATs.
Well, you have to kick it into the air quotes kick zone now. And I think you can do some kind of new modern hybrid onside kick where the kickers start practicing just putting an insane amount of loft on a kick.
Like a sky kick?
A sky kick. You go super high arc instead of kicking it further, and give your guys enough time to get downfield
and catch it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll need to see it. I think that's why I don't understand it fully. I have a concept, like I get it.
You got to watch more XFL.
Oh gosh, if I watched watched a single snap of XFL, that would be the most XFL that I watched.
Michigan, they're XFL champs. Shout out, or USFL, XFL, whatever it is called now.
USL.
Yeah.
UFL.
I know for a fact you watched.
What about your St. Louis
game?
Battlehawks,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. You watched a game when your St. Louis team was in the final.
Did they make it to the final?
And they lost.
To who?
Michigan.
I didn't watch that.
It was like Jeff Fisher was out there.
I would have remembered that. It's like Steve Spagnuolo was out there doing nothing. Yeah, I don't know much about that game. But I mean, if they got better rules, I mean, cool, go with those, I guess. But you score a touchdown, you go to commercial. You kick an extra point, you go to commercial. You do the kickoff, you go to commercial.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm having 10 minutes after points are scored before Scott Hansen is going to cycle back to the game I'm watching.
I do like the new kickoffs better. You're actually going to get kicks returned now. So it'll be at least that element of excitement between, like, just like you said, sandwich in between two commercial breaks. At least you have a football play in between two commercial breaks.
You get 5 seconds of glory.
Breaking news, my Houston Astros to acquire Toronto Blue Jays loser Yusei Kikuchi. I'm not happy about this. We're giving up our best pitcher in the minor leagues for this guy who's given up 7 runs, 5 runs, and 5 runs.
I'm going to buy you a
his
Kikuchi
last 3
jersey.
starts.
Yusei Kikuchi, that's his name?
Yep.
I like that. That might be my new favorite baseball player behind Jazz. Grisham, or however you say his last name.
Chisholm?
Yeah, Chisholm. There we go.
Whenever we get back from the break, the Dallas Cowboys are closing in on a deal with a dude that should have had a deal some time ago. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Okay.
And the reason I think it might be a lie is because it's a little unique. It's a little unique that this team makes a good decision. I've been seeing it for the last 1 year plus. Zero interest in locking up future success. Zero interest in grabbing the guys who are the top tier in the league at the value that they should be at. But it looks as if CeeDee Lamb is going to get $136 million from the Cowboys. I'm into that. If they pay him, I'll also give it to them all up front. Give them all up front.
Shader Sanders is going to throw so many touchdowns next year.
Hopefully.
Because Dak won't be there.
If you can make that team relevant again, like I'm super in. Like I'm super in on a Cowboys team that you think can win the big game. Because right now.
Because now it's just hearsay. You know, everybody's, and all fans of them are going to say that.
Yeah.
Is that 136 milli over 4 years?
That's what I believe. I saw. That is what is being reported. The years are not, over 4 years.
Is there any guaranteed money?
Extension. Well, now it's almost all like 90% guaranteed.
Yeah.
Like that's not 100.
So now he's like the fourth or third highest paid wide receiver? Because Tyreek and A.J. Brown are up there.
I think that puts him way down there.
He is, I would say, a top 5 wide receiver. He deserves to make top 5 money.
The Madden released their top 10 wide receiver rankings earlier. I meant to send that to the group chat, but they had CD third. I predicted him to be third. Tyreek's first, of course, 99. Jettas is a 98, and CD's a 96. And you got Amon St. Brown's a 95. And then the rest of the guys, like Jamar Chase, is a 93.
So that's top 5-y. Top 5-y. And it's 34 million average, which would be second only to Justin Jefferson. It's about the guarantees, but
perfect.
That's the Cowboys, I think, making the right decision.
Any signing bonus? Because that's the real play nowadays is signing bonus. These guys like
it'll be significant. Yeah, I think that's the perfect spot
originally.
For him. Reset the market for everyone not named Justin Jefferson.
And originally, the reports were that he was going to want to be the highest paid. So to hear that he accepted the second, which is what I think most of us were agreeing that he should have done, I like to hear that. And I consider that team friendly, whereas all the other positions, they're all set in the market, quote unquote. And you got CDs like, look, I'm not trying to ask for more than Jettas. Just give me more than everybody else.
Who gets paid next, Micah or Dak?
Well, you don't pay Dak. Like, you let him go. Like, you pay the linebacker. You need the linebacker. He's one of the best ones. But you can replace
Leighton Vander Esch.
But you can replace Dak Prescott with a rookie next year and have the same results you're currently having.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's the.
But Mike is a locker room cancer right now.
Oh, I don't. I mean, maybe I don't subscribe to that in training camp football at all.
Oh, I'm talking off season.
I think it's clicky.
Yeah, it's real clicky over there in Dallas. Micah wants to play for the Texans. He wants to be with his Bleacher Report buddy, CJ.
Deep down, as much as it hurts my heart, Micah truly, he won't admit it until it happens, but I think he deep down wants to play for Philly. He's from Pennsylvania. He's always looking at what Philly's doing. He's always super public about him approving of their decisions. And he really fits the mold. And I hope he doesn't break my heart and do it. But I'm letting you know now, if Micah ends up doing a LeBron and like having that type of ripple effect and switching to Philly, it would not shock me.
Micah Parsons did not play at Georgia, therefore he will never be an Eagle.
Good take.
Yeah. Did the math on that. Checks out.
Doesn't drag race.
So CD got 34 average.
That's what I saw.
Nick Bosa, highest paid edge rusher, $34 million a year. You give Micah Parsons $34 million and $1. Call it a day.
You end up in a weird thing.
You get $1 more than CD. You get $1 more than Nick Bosa,
and then you re-sign Cole Beasley.
I like that
as a coach.
As a player.
COVID denier. What do you get him for? I like having one of the best players at a position. Super valuable. If you have 3 wide receivers who combine make $45 million, or excuse me, $60 million, and 35 of that million goes to one guy, I think I have a problem. I think I want 3 guys who make $20 million that are all of the B plus kind of world.
I agree.
So if there would have been a way, maybe Dallas tried this, but if there would have been a way to move CeeDee Lamb to the AFC only, to move CeeDee Lamb to somewhere else and pull back like 2 types of talent, maybe like I'm just going to say Miami, but whatever.
Maybe send CD to San Francisco, keep it NFC, and get Brandon Ayuk.
Oh, Lord. Well, CD's so much better than him.
I don't know. Brandon Ayuk, don't sleep on him, man.
I'm very much sleeping
He's
on
the
him.
best wide receiver on that San Fran team, behind Debo and George, or in front of.
Hard disagree.
Yeah, same.
Brandon Ayuk's 9th on the list. Mike Evans is 10th. Stephon Diggs 8th.
What list
Chase
is this?
7th.
The Madden
is ahead of Jamar Chase.
Is this the pay list or the Madden list?
The Madden list.
The Madden list.
Okay.
Which is honestly, unfortunately, it's
pretty
got
accurate.
A lot of credibility.
Yeah. They put a lot of time into that, just like Ronnie 2K with NBA 2K.
Who puts time into
that? The analyst of
No,
Madden.
bro,
EA.
it's an algorithm. They just program a thing. That don't take no time. Like
he said, that's an algorithm.
Yeah, like that's just a calculator.
This ain't no For You page, man. They put some real time into that.
They just here are the
For
numbers.
You. Huh.
Tell me what's a 99. Like that's I'm not because also like 4 years ago, Jimmy Garoppolo is the highest paid quarterback in the league, I think. And you're like, Madden's got him rated higher at the time, or he's nothing. You know what I mean?
Well, at the time, it's all year by year basis. That's why it has to change. That's why they have the data analysts.
I think
Madden is a "What have you done for me lately" program. They update things weekly.
Yeah, they update them weekly.
I think they had Kurt Warner at like a 50 overall one time. So I mean, it's been way off.
Well, he was a bag boy.
That was sweet.
Yeah, I mean, he was a 99 at Albertsons, though.
It's a good get. You can get it. Paper, plastic, brother.
You brought your own bag.
It's our Isham Dental soundbite of the week whenever we get back from the break. It's 2 minutes on. Did I say week of the day? 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
It is time to get out to one of our states.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to Tune In On. I've been obsessed with the Olympics all weekend. And that'll be shown in our Isham Dental soundbite of the day. IshamDentalABQ.com, 505-881-0422. Reach out to Scott Isham. Get those dentures repaired. Taking all forms of Medicare A and B, and all of your insurance providers. Isaiah, did you get that soundbite from me?
Yes, sir. It is up and ready.
All right. So this is our Isham Dental soundbite of the day.
It's Simone Biles on vault. Will we see the Yurchenko double pike? My goodness me, we will see the Yurchenko double pike, the hardest vault in the world.
For the first time ever at an Olympic Games, a woman has landed this vault.
I don't know if you guys were watching this live like I was. This vault is hands down, flip, 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 land it. The degree of difficulty that like men don't even try this thing. You know what I mean? And it's often a bailout thing at the very, very end. And she nails it in the Olympic Games, cool as a cucumber, and all the strength and power and everything that her body has in it to do this thing. And then afterwards, glittery little flitter hands.
Well, yeah. I mean, props to her, because the last Olympics, she was really struggling with her routines and her sets.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, so my mom right now is obsessed with Simone Biles.
Same.
Yeah. And that's all she wants to talk to me about. And I haven't watched a single bit of gymnastics yet, but I know everything that's going on because of her.
You're missing out. Like on this double pike, if you don't land on your feet, you just snap your neck in half. Like those are the only options on this thing. And after you hit it, the building just erupted.
It was probably the loudest the Olympics has been.
The Olympics are awesome.
I forget which routine it is, but she submitted for a new move that she invented.
The Biles too.
So
yeah.
No one's ever even tried it before.
That was this.
Oh, that was that one?
In women's, that was this thing.
No, there's a separate one
that
not has a woman done, neither a woman or man has done.
My mistake.
I feel like a guy could never attempt that. There's too much weight.
It's been hit by men before.
Just not on the big stage.
Yeah. In the difficulty score is 6.4.
Out of 10?
Sort of. No.
Or out of 9.9?
Yeah, no. So difficulty score gets added to your execution. So your execution is what you're thinking of with a 10.
Yeah.
And then that gets added too. So like say if your difficulty score is like a 4, which is for us impossible.
Yeah.
Like our fat rear ends can lay on our couch eating chips saying
I could do that.
Yeah, saying that's a tenth of a point.
Yeah. So a cartwheel is like a 0.01.
Something
I can't even do a cartwheel.
And then you build up from there.
Yeah.
I tried it the other day.
Yeah, but it's I don't know, it's a special thing. And this group and the teams are smaller now. It's not what it was with like
the
Atlanta.
Maroney days. Yeah.
Yeah, well, even way before them. Yeah. But get behind this one. This is a super cool thing. Enjoy it. And also it's probably the last run of Simone Biles.
Yeah.
It's the odds of her doing it again in LA are slim. Now, do I think they'll try?
Yeah.
Sure, because you're in LA. And
I saw there's this one gymnastics lady who's competed in every Olympic since like the 90s. Like,
I have no clue.
Yeah, and like she's like 46 or she's up there in age. I thought that was the most impressive athlete out there.
I was not alive at this time, but the 84 Olympics in LA with Mary Lou Retton and kind of the way that, I don't know, polarized like the world of the Olympics and the United States of America, that the Olympics and the United States obviously want to recapture. They want to recapture the Wheaties box, and they want to recapture the perfect 10, and they want to recapture all those things that they had with Mary Lou Retton in 84. And if Simone Biles is in a place where she can physically do it, they will through medicine and effort and all those things, make it so that she can. But this is the last prime one you're going to see.
Or we get America's sweetheart, Livy Dunn, out there, and she does it.
I don't know if she's good enough.
She didn't make it this year when she's like 20. I doubt she will next time.
Yeah, she does gymnastics for the LSU Tigers. She's got to be good.
No, she doesn't.
They won the SEC. That's bigger than a gold medal.
None of them are on this team.
Yeah, they didn't want the young ones this year.
That's not.
They're saving them for LA, Fred.
Yeah, they're saving them. They keep the legs fresh.
They're not sending their best people.
They don't need to. Do you see some of these scores of these teams? It's USA and then everyone else super chasing. There's no.
And Romania fell off, huh?
They're 12th.
Wow.
They weren't even close.
I'm assuming China is number 2.
I believe China or France, maybe. I'd have to go back and look. But I mean, it is not a competition against Team USA.
France is going hard so far at the beginning of the Olympics. Per capita, I think they're doing better than anyone.
They got something to prove.
Obviously, it's going to be USA and China at the end, 1 and 2. France is pretty impressive so far.
I don't know. I think Japan might take them over. They are masters of what they do.
They got a lot of medals. And they do women's sports so well, too. Their men's sports kind of suck. But the Japanese women's sports, they're always in the mix.
I think they're stronger over there.
As women?
Yeah.
Their men are definitely weaker.
Yeah.
Physically.
Worldwide.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
I think it's reverse there.
Reverse what?
Strength.
No, it's not reverse. It's just on a different scale.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get too big. There's so many people on that little island. You have to.
Yeah, you don't want to get too broad of shoulders.
They have their crosswalks are so organized that if one big guy comes in there, if you walk that crosswalk, it messes up the whole system for weeks.
If I showed up in Japan,
they would love you.
Yeah, they call me White Godzilla. That would be me walking around Japan.
I have a friend who's about the same size as you, and he went to Japan and China, and he got stopped every 5 seconds for a photo.
Yeah,
I'm only 5'11", and people were taking pictures of me in Vietnam. You would be drawing crowds everywhere you go, Fred.
And also I'm deceptively strong. I can just pick them up.
Yeah.
Well, just here I am lifting you.
They thought I was LeBron in Europe. You'd pass as Kevin Love in Japan.
With that haircut, they thought you were LeBron?
I don't think they knew LeBron by his haircut. I think they just saw tall, black LeBron.
You were giving me Jimmy Butler bubble vibes when you had the hat on.
It didn't help that Zay was walking around in a LeBron jersey, dribbling a basketball, eating McDonald's, and drinking Coca-Cola.
A full Lakers uniform on.
No, not even the Lakers one. The way more worldwide recognizable Space Jam one.
Yeah.
He's I won't be missed. This is my chance. When we get back from the break, it's our I-9 varsity. The I-9 varsity today has been our Olympic highlights to start. It's 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On, live from the McLeod YMCA right here on The Sports Animal. Thank you to everyone who's taken the time to start the week with us with our Olympic sports recap. Also, it is not lost on us that you, friends of the show, return to sports talk this time of year. It is not lost on us that football is back and you are back. It is not lost on us how secular this thing could be, as I think school starts next week. You're back into
the dog days are over.
Yeah, your 9 out of 12 month routine is about to be back, and we are fortunate to be part of your routine every day. And thank you for taking the time with us. 505-246-0610. Thank you for learning our new voices and Isaiah Johnson. Thank you for not making us run off Jake Cassio. Thank you for letting I and Van be a part of at least a little part of your days. It means a lot to us that we are a little bit of what you have going on. So that is a big deal on our end.
Thanks for letting me stay on Mondays.
I mean, you got that dirt on us, so we really can't do anything.
Hey,
we have no other options.
I'm
now.
Italian. Come on.
You're going to release that information, and we're done for. So
505.
Feel free to come back.
505-312-4999. League office 280 at i9sports.com. It's our I9 varsity. Our I9 varsity is the start to the Olympic weekend. I can lead, boys, unless one of you want to.
I have a good one.
Go ahead.
Derek White not being in the Olympic team photo, like being on the very, very far right, like 2 people gap between him and Team USA in the picture, and he's dressed like a middle schooler. That's been my highlight.
Well, he just ran in late,
It was they are already a team together. They were on their way here. There's like some film team with them right now, and they're like releasing like behind the scenes footage of Team USA.
Don't hate that at all. Van?
First on my I9 varsity of Olympic moments so far. Remember there's like a blue guy with his balls out? You remember that? He was just like laying on a table. It's just like a naked guy painted blue.
I think that was
That was wild. That's a thing they did.
The Blue Men are back.
Blue Man Group.
I heard that whole group has changed.
There's dozens of them.
I've been really appreciative of how it's been a distraction from just a wild political news cycle. Like that has been awesome to me. How it is. I guess not just my algorithm, but it's penetrated the nation's conversation. And I think that has been awesome because I can only so many times hear how this candidate is raising in the polls or this one has fallen. Or I was talking to Van about it earlier. I one time nicked my ear with the hair clippers and it took that thing like 6 months to heal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm over the conspiracy stuff. I'm over the weird stuff. And this has been a fun 2-week break before the craziness that's going to be August, September, October, first week in November.
Football.
That will help one day a week.
Sure.
And
I thought that's the craziness you were talking about.
No, and I don't give football more than the one day that it deserves. Like I'm not the guy who schedules Monday, Thursday, and all of Sunday.
Don't forget Saturdays.
Not this early in the season, but yeah, later in the season. The NFL is a big enough deal that it gets one day a week. You don't get more than that. Like my time has more value than what the NFL believes my time has.
Sunday morning, fourth quarter, red zone,
witching hour,
hard to beat in sports.
That's good.
It's so entertaining.
And if I hadn't fallen asleep on the couch by that point yet, I'll stay up and watch it.
You should come to the Bills bar with me one.
I'm very disinterested. And the venue of it is very bad. Isaiah?
I've said this before. I'll say it again. Genuinely, the best part of this for me is watching the NBA players play like this and care. And I think it's because I left the country and you see how other people talk bad about America, but it hits different when other people that aren't American talk about America. Like we diss on America, but we're here. But when you leave and there's other people that always are trying to find something that their country does better in America, or they're always so quick to tell us what we do wrong. it really means a lot to see the NBA players go out and actually care and try to win, because basketball is one of the things we hang our hat on, and we cannot afford to lose that.
Well, to counter out your point with my second pick, I'm going with Joel Embiid's downfall, which was already spiraling before this, and he's going down even further, and that's been the best part of Team USA basketball for me. Bench him.
Chase Budinger and his partner Miles Evans rolled over France and the sand volleyball. And I like it whenever a guy that just does something as a hobby beats dudes who do it as professionals. So give me Chase Budinger. That is sweet.
It's a strong one. Next on my I-9 varsity of Olympic moments. Remember when somebody spray painted a rocking horse and it just went down the river in France?
Weird, dude.
Yeah, it was just a silver horse in the river. It wasn't even doing anything. It was just going down the river.
And then when it got
down
off
by the river,
and then there was a transition to a real horse, and it was very slowly walking, and there were all the nation's flags following it, and you're getting like a New World Order vibe, and it was like super weird. And then they get to the walkway, which now all of a sudden wasn't covered in weird performers.
Yeah,
and I couldn't really place anything. China was way better.
For all their faults, good job, France, not spray painting the real horse. Thank you for that.
I think you're allowed to do that.
You can spray paint a horse?
Yeah, there's like food. There's like animal friendly dye.
I saw Dances with Wolves, and those horses had paint on them.
That's what they did. I think it was the blood of their enemies.
I think
painted horses.
Is that a weird thing?
I think it's the name of the horse.
Oh, is that like a style of fur?
That's a kind of horse.
That is a real thing. They don't win the Kentucky Derby a lot.
If you had a part of equestrian where you just did like a glow up on the horses, I'd be in it.
They're the real athlete out there.
Yeah, the riders are weird. They don't wave or anything.
No.
They just go out there and
they handle business.
The one without jumping too sucks. Like the dance only one.
The crip walking.
That one was not cool.
Mm-hmm.
Snoop Dogg's been commentating on that one heavy.
They were doing this thing where it was like
Snoop Dogg on the mic during equestrian dancing?
Oh yeah, he was crip walking with them.
Oh, that's nice.
It might have been on the highlights, but on the broadcast it was this guy and this gal, and every other moment she was like, "You'll notice the left leg steps are in the exact same spot as the right leg steps, or whatever." Like something about like tracking footprints. And I'm like, no one is hunting horses.
What they need to do is get the ladder out there and do like football drills with the horses. That would be...
like a cone drill or something? There's nothing in that deal. It's just like the nicest dirt you've ever seen.
Why is it only horses at the Olympics? We need to be sending more animals.
Oh, like a 4-H thing?
I want to like send our best animals.
Falconry?
Yeah.
That would be a cool
Where's
one.
falconry?
Abu Dhabi would destroy us.
Good point.
No, guys, you'd end up in some weird stuff like SeaWorld issues, or if you're doing like, oh, this is the otter competition, and then you would have like terrible otter conditions.
Well, the losers die and the winners.
So why is it okay for horses? And if I can't do orca dancing at the LA's Olympics, like why is it okay for horses?
Because you can turn them into glue.
I bet it has something to do with how long they live. If you're doing like seal tricks, they just die every season.
Oh yeah. Okay. So sea turtles then.
Isaiah, good job back at the studio.
Thank you.
Jay Cassio.
Hi, Mom.
Van, final words?
I love the YMCA. Check out your local Y. It's an amazing place. And check out the opening drive tomorrow morning with Jeff and JJ.
Good job, everyone. Keep breathing.
See you tomorrow, Burke.